of the Olives. We should be live, waiting for confirmation as usual.
Naturally.
Well, we appreciate Euan's incredible drawing here of Shadow about to kill Sonic X. That's not very nice of him.
Naturally.
Yeah, and yep, we're live. Yeah.
Yep, it's just went.
That's good news. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And we finally have a full stock of people again. Welcome back. Indeed.
Hi.
Yeah,
I'm back and I'm sick. So.
Oh, that's not good.
Again. Oh well. It's just a cold. I'll be fine.
You went back to the roots of the British people? Something you said for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out Thanksgiving, I am a descendant of the Pilgrims. So who came over on the Mayflower.
So yeah, your ancestors had those cool hats. That's nice.
Yeah, and it turns out I also share, I believe that also means I share roots with Euan and Luke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One big family.
Yeah. Explains why I like British comedy.
Marvelous.
There we go.
So terrible humor is genetic, I see.
Yes. Unfortunately.
How dare you insult the Monty Pythons and the Mr. Beans?
I'm kidding. British humor can be funny sometimes.
But of course the best kind of
Sometimes
humor...
it's funnier than American humor, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course the best kind of humor is Dutch humor. Mine!
I mean, fair enough. That's why we're all here.
So I get away with saying ridiculous stuff like that. Alrighty. Look, how was your week?
Yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I've been mostly shopping today, getting, Christmas shopping stuff, and the weather today was horrible. It was like raining all day.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We watch a British movie or a TV show. It's all lovely and snowy, but no, it's just pissing down with rain all the time.
I don't think I've ever had a white Christmas here. No, very pathetic snow. How disappointing!
Yeah, I can imagine people watching the Paddington movies going, "Oh, look how beautiful and magical it is. Let's spend Christmas in London to this year." And it's just rain and
soggy Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year it snowed on Christmas, and my family and I ended up shoveling the walks. That was our Christmas bonding time.
First of all, you were going to say that was your Christmas tradition, just to shovel the walkways every Christmas.
Only when it snows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we should be grateful it's not too snowy all the time. Snowy can be a pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty, Melty, you had a terrible week as well?
Well, I've mostly had a busy week, just dealing with overtime and, of course, one of our big charity events, which it was a bit busy, especially being out there in the cold. But honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's mostly because we recently updated the cameras, as I work at a television station. So we're always doing handheld shots, getting the charity events, people dropping off toys for kids and yada yada. And we always had the handhelds, wired. So we had to make sure, we're not tripping anything. We got to make sure, we got the wires long enough. We don't want to cross them to disturb signals and whatnot. But this time we installed some wireless equipment, so now it was definitely a lot better. We had a lot more freedom to run around and do stuff. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But yeah, aside from that, I've just been very busy with projects. I'm already kicking into high gear with Forgotten Media's Christmas special this year. And but aside from that, I also got my entry into a YouTube poop collab, which was the Popeye's Barbecue for Two cartoon.
Oh, yeah, you showed us something, yeah.
Yeah, so I got my entry accepted into that. It's one of the shortest shortest YouTube poops I did, and because it only took me 2 days to put it all together. But I was happy with how it turned out.
That's good to hear.
Hey. So yeah, my second time being in a YouTube poop collab. Yeah.
Nice, and maybe soon in another. If we ever do the YouTube poops we did for this live stream all together in one video, I suppose. But that's to decide.
You know, I was actually thinking of doing that. When we're all done, I would combine them all into one really long YouTube poop.
It's gonna be huge.
I was kind of
yeah.
already doing that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
I
beat
had
you to the
seen-
punch.
I had
Yeah,
something
it's okay. As long as someone's doing it.
Yeah, I had something like that in mind as well, although it was more of just, let's combine all of my segments into one video and just post it on my own channel in the future. But yeah.
Well, you can still do that.
You're free to do
Yeah.
so. Why not?
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah,
obviously
I've
going
seen that.
to, because I was obviously going to make sure, like, label down who did what,
Thank
Ah,
you.
just so that people don't automatically assume I did all of it. Even though I wouldn't mind saying I did them all, but no, I've got to be generous. I've got to say like Melty did this one, then Sala, maybe Luke did that one, maybe I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, if he does one.
Maybe I should do one for Christmas Blast since we already talked about it but didn't have a poop for it.
All
And I
right.
can
Yeah.
join as well. Yay! But we'll see about that. And Sala, how was your week? Sickly?
A little bit. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I just got done being sick like a month ago, and now I'm sick again. But I'm. It didn't last nearly as long this time, so I'm practically over it. Just got a slight lingering cough. Other than that, yesterday was, and the day before was pretty good because Marvel Rivals came out, baby, and been having a ton of fun with that.
What is that? Marvel Rivals? It's a Sonic
Marvel
Rivals? but with
Rivals.
Marvel?
No, it's
Never heard of it.
Overwatch, but with Marvel,
Oh, okay. Alright.
and it's just better than Overwatch.
Well, that's good. And you, and
Yeah,
how
I-
happy are you about the new Sonic Transformers?
Oh my god.
Well, it's definitely something that was rumored for quite a while, but obviously now we finally got to see him, and it does kind of make sense. Like the choices they went for, like with Sonic's car, well, race car from like the Sonic All Stars Racing, as well as Tails having the tornado.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel like.
I'm-
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say how the Sonic one called Blue Booster is basically just like a robot version of Sonic Man from Sonic 06.
Yeah, he is.
And of course his weaponry is a ring shield as well as a capsule. Bit weird.
Yeah, I'd rather have a comic crossover, to be honest, because the Transformers did a lot of crossovers, like with Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and of course My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did quite a bit, but yeah, but alas, they can't really do that because IDW was like the last company that did Transformer comics. Yeah, they lost the license, so now it belongs to someone else. So
Yeah,
Alas.
unfortunately.
yeah,
This is the closest thing we're gonna get for a while.
yeah, but yeah, bringing back the Sonic car from All Stars Racing is like, yeah, that thing keeps coming back because I guess it's the most marketable thing related to Sonic vehicles, or at least Sonic having his own vehicle, because obviously Sega doesn't give a shit about the Sonic Drift games.
But
No,
yeah, I
Game
mean,
Gear's getting
Rhino was basically just mentioning like he now just wants a death egg that turns into a Unicron style world ender.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it won't be too hard considering the fact they basically did a Death Star that transformed into Darth Vader at one point. So it makes sense that would happen at some point.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, at least we know that Sonic and Tails are definitely on Team Autobots. Yeah.
As if there was any doubt about that. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about my week. Would just be complaining about the weather again. So shall we move on?
So very British of you.
Also very
Yeah,
Dutch.
so-
We Dutch also love complaining about the weather.
Yeah, so yeah, there's quite a lot of Sonic news that came out recently because he had the Transformers stuff, new info on Sonic Rumble, and of course all that Sonic Movie 3 talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk
Yeah.
about Sonic Movie 3 trailer stuff, or is that too spoilery?
Yeah, yeah. We could throw our quick sense on the trailers that came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love those 3D models. I wasn't expecting to do the Sega Saturn reference. I mean, it's about time. I mean, the first movie had all the pixel art from the first Sega Genesis game, so I guess it makes sense they move on to Saturn. So nice that they didn't skip that over. I love low poly graphics like that.
Yeah. I thought there were polygon screenshots in the previous trailers from like Shenmue or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah,
It's been a while
when
since I've seen
Sega's
the
logos
intro.
show up, you see a lot of Sega Saturn Dreamcast games, including Shenmue Indeed and Skies Arcadia and Jet Set Radio. But I mean, that Sonic himself in main new media is shown in this style as a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the models giving off that Sonic the Fighter vibe,
Indeed. Good times.
even if the human characters look a bit meh. I mean, even though that's supposed to be the whole point, they're supposed to look meh because they're supposed to be the early days of like Sega model making.
So I can imagine like the two removal men from Money or Nothing coming in to talk about microwave ovens.
Yeah,
that-
I was more thinking of that weird. I don't know what was it called, like the Greek song from the '90s. That also had these old 3D graphics. Damn, I don't know.
Oh, you mean like Shadow Basketball?
Oh, that.
No, but never mind. Anyway, yeah, cool to see those models. Anything else to say about the movie?
Well, really digging Robotnik's updated outfit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's quite a journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're finally
Took us a
getting
while,
there.
but we're finally there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Apparently, in some trailers, TV spots, and whatnot, even Gerald gets to have his own unique outfit and not just the old lab coat getup.
Yeah, but it's just like a white version of Eggman's jacket, so
Yeah,
Ah,
except
yeah.
still looking more like lab coaty.
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
The
But
definitely,
it's still
kinda
really
like.
cool.
Yeah, that I kind of like. Like the difference in their coats.
and do you think the
But
Chow
yeah.
Garden is going to be an actual thing? Are there going to be companies?
Would
that
be
can
nice.
say that?
Oh
But
my
yeah,
God.
Oh yeah, they showed up. It's like, oh yeah, it's a restaurant cafe thingy. Yeah.
This, oh my gosh, though it does look like something Japan would do. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, like you'd think they would have done that, like Japan exclusive and whatnot, but no, because Japan's all about the chibis.
yeah,
You know, I would never imagine hearing a Sega character mention a Nintendo character.
yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
I mean,
You
I
look
mean,
like
didn't that-
Pikachu.
I mean,
You look
didn't
like
that
Pikachu.
kind-
It does look like
Sorry.
Pikachu. Pika Pika.
Sorry, Milton.
Yeah, as I was saying, the whole Nintendo reference, I'm like, didn't that kind of happen in one of the dubs for the first Sonic movie? Because I think there was one where Sonic actually does mention Mario when they talk
Yeah,
about the Mushroom Planet.
Because I think it was. Yeah, because I think it was a Taiwanese dub where Sonic says, "No, I'm not Mario."
Yeah, that's it. So I mostly remember that because Roger showed it off in the Dissected, was it? Sonic movie Dissected episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Admittingly, though, that was my discovery of it, because like the whole talk about Mario and such, I thought like, oh yeah, I remember there was that one audio clip that I found mentioning about
Oh, yeah,
Mario,
'cause-
so I'll just quickly just pop it in.
Yeah, you did quite the hefty amount of editing for that episode.
I
Yeah.
mean, Sonic has been in Nintendo games like Smash Bros. And the Olympics by now, so I guess it's not as shocking as it would have been in the '90s, I guess. Sonic
Yeah.
actually met Pikachu at this point, so there you go.
Yeah, although it's kind of funny that it's like, mentioned like, oh, you Detective Pikachu. It's like, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because, Tails had like a detective get up from Murder of Sonic and whatnot.
There's pedigree, I suppose.
Mm.
And
yeah.
Euan, are you going to do a movie shoot location for London? Traveling around London to find all the movie shot locations?
Probably. I mean, that one location of where we got like Robotnik, Shadow, Gerald, and Agent Stone,
Yeah.
basically being at the location, where Resurrection of the Daleks was shot.
That's right. Yeah.
Before it was all, revamped and looking much nicer.
Oh,
But I think
thought you were
maybe the
talking-
reason why they shot there was just because of its name, Shad Wharf.
Of course.
And I never
Oh,
think
dear.
that there's a giant space station hidden in the Thames near Tower Hill.
Yeah. It's like, but then again, they also demolished the City Hall just to build the Gun HQ building.
And to be fair, the
Yeah, so-
Thames is a really dirty river, so you can hide stuff very easily there.
Oh, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
barely see the bottom of
true.
the river.
Yeah, it's mostly just because all the clay and silt and such that's just built up over time.
Yeah,
So it's
being
not
as
polluted, it's just muddy.
I can imagine being as that the Ark might have been around from the 70s. I could probably imagine it was probably commissioned by Margaret Thatcher.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like I might be like the first one that's gonna see this film, mostly because I got to use one of my vacation days from work for the 20th, so I can actually see the film on opening night.
I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
It's exactly on Christmas Day here in the Netherlands. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I have
different.
stuff to do on
Well, if it-
Christmas.
Well, if it makes you feel better, there's two things. Like one, that Movie Shadow DLC is coming out soon for Shadow Generations, and two, next stream is gonna be our like Christmas theme, so we'll be occupied with that. So the stream after that, then we can go all spoiler heavy on Sonic Movie 3 talk.
That's true. I suppose so.
Yeah.
But yeah, because by then, hopefully, everyone would have seen the movie by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to
Might
have a
be-
chat with you and how we're going to see the film, because like we kind of have this tradition where when a Sonic movie comes out, I'll usually meet up with you and of course Dan or Dan Buster to go up somewhere to watch the film together. Because I
Yeah.
usually have Euan sitting next to me so he could record my reaction when a surprise character comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much happy by your reaction. Because, I mean, I didn't hear your reaction from the first film, but then again, I heard the general audience reaction of where one guy somewhere on the other side of the room just yelled, "Oh my god!" when he saw Tails. But of course, for Luke, with reacting to Shadow, he's like, "What? No!" And
Yeah,
of course,
because
his reaction-
I didn't really
Oh
expect
my
that
gosh.
they would do Shadow at all.
Yeah.
That they would
Yeah.
go that far.
Yeah, I think I tried recording my reaction to the mid-credit scene for Sonic 2, but it's like, I didn't have much of a reaction, and
Yeah.
the crowd wasn't really that noisy.
Mm.
Although I do remember, like, after the movie, I, went to the bathroom to do my business, and I heard this man and his child, they were talking, like, "Oh, who's that Hedgehog at the end?" The dad is like, "Oh, no, that's Shadow the Hedgehog, he's the old character from the games, yada yada," gives him the brief synopsis on the character. Yeah, I just thought it was a cute moment. It's like, aw.
But yeah, it's a shame that Euan can't record Elise if Silver suddenly shows up at the end. That
I'm
will
sure
give
Elise
us
can
a
do
big
that
reaction.
herself. She'll
Well,
be just like, "All right, where are you, my lovely?"
Oh no.
And then it just Amy Rose, and it's just like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
how dare you deny me?"
Yeah, yeah. If it's Amy Rose, because if we're going off of the whole Maddie shirt theory, then yeah, it could be, or maybe someone else. Who knows?
Well, I'm wondering, like, how Gerald is there. And I can think of a few of them. I'll just list two. Is that one, either he did find the secret to immortality, and that's why he's there.
That's my guess,
it's still
since
alive.
Shadow is
Oh, I'm
made
thinking-
from medicines.
Or he had help from a time traveler.
Ooh, my. Yeah.
Well, I did see a TV spot that revealed his age, but I probably won't say anything more than that.
Hmm,
Yeah.
maybe it was like an early form of like like the immortality thing, but it doesn't exactly like stop you from aging, but it just drastically slows it down a bit.
Oh, it
Mhm.
could be.
So maybe that's why he's like claims he's like in the triple digits, even though he's moving about like he's in his like 70s or 80s,
Ah, yeah. I
or
still
maybe
count-
90s if you count Dick Van Dyke, but he's still
Oh,
very
yeah.
mobile for his age.
Yeah.
But
Does
yeah,
anyone
I
know
just think-
how old Clint Eastwood is nowadays?
Ooh, high in his 90s. So, quite the age.
Yeah.
But yeah, but as for Gerald, I'm still kind of sticking to my theory of like, oh yeah, he found like immortality, but it kind of came at the cost of trying to keep his like body stable and not like mutating rapidly. And then like by the end, we find out he like mutates into the bio lizard.
That would
That's more
be
my
With the
cool.
old man face.
Oh my gosh, that would be. Oh
That
man.
would be creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
I just think that'd be a cool kind of dark twist on the whole, the Biolizard being the prototype of Shadow. It's like, yeah, he did find a way to be successful, but it did come at a cost at his own body and whatnot. But yeah, that's just me. I don't know how dark they're gonna try and get, how dark they're gonna go for a movie. It's just Shadow. But yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
if no, he did get help from Silver. Like Silver, he somehow found Silver, brought him forward in time, and then Silver finds out he was tricked, and then that's how he gets into the story. Where he's like, okay, I'm gonna find this jerk who tricked me. So, because maybe he also just came from the future and he saw what happened, and so he went back in time to fix everything.
Who knows? They can do whatever they want with the movie, so it's gotta be interesting.
Yeah.
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 Right. Shall we move to Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, or is there more theories we have on movie 3? We haven't heard Sala.
well, I did like how immediately after the trailer dropped, Twitter was trending with both he has a gun and he pissed on the moon.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, them quotes.
Yes.
Those freaking overused quotes, yeah. Probably. I feel like after, when the movie gets closer to release, I'll probably just be a dig and just post a random tweet and be all like, since everyone's forgotten about the original post, here it is, and it's like the original SA2 announcement with Robotnik. Because yeah, for some reason that's actually one of those things that still lives rent-free in my mind with the original announcement. I just think it's one of Dean Bristow's best,
Indeed.
Yeah, not the oversaturated pissing on the moon garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine a scene. Sorry, I can't imagine a scene like if Robotnik's addressing like the United Nations or something, including the president. Like after he urinates on the moon, he goes, "How'd you like that, Mr. President?"
I think it'd be more cooler if Jim Carrey actually did the original Robotnik speech. That'd be cool. My name is Dr.
Cool.
Eggman, the world's greatest scientist, and soon to become the world's greatest ruler. Now witness the beginning of the greatest empire of all time.
And then pew.
But they have snuck a Sonic meme into the first two movies, so
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised.
Well, the first one, sure. The second one, I'd heavily deny it. Because it's Robotnik saying the line and not Knuckles.
But he's saying it to Knuckles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be
it's not
happy to
Knuckles
show you the
actually
way.
saying the line.
Yeah.
In fact, that whole Uganda Knuckles thing is pretty much the reason why I avoided VR chat for so long. Because that shit was
Yeah.
being spammed everywhere. Yeah. Fucking thing.
I can't imagine another scene like as the Robotniks have Sonic and his friends tied up. Being as Robotnik's bilingual, he says "sayonara" to Sonic. He goes, "What does that mean?" And Robotnik means goodbye. And then at the very end, where something happens to Shadow, Sonic says "sayonara" to him.
Oh, maybe that's why they said it in Tokyo. Huh, that's an interesting theory.
Interesting call. Yeah, interesting. Similarities to how they did that in the second film. Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm amazed that they gave Shadow a gun again.
Yeah.
And this time, it doesn't feel out of place. I'm just gonna say it. It does not feel out of place this time.
It's the Keanu Reeves magic, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
I think it's also the style of the gun. It's not a realistic one. It's like a
Yeah.
sci-fi laser gun, and so.
Well, then again, the guns in Shadow's game were always purely optional. Like, you can still bash badniks and aliens with just, like, a simple, spin dash or whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, but didn't the guns make it, like, more effective in taking down enemies, or, like less time?
Yeah. Certain guns are definitely do significantly more DPS than your homing attack.
Yeah, okay.
Not to mention you have a Chow gun,
Yeah.
so you can shoot Chows. That's always fun.
Yeah,
Before,
the
before
Omo
something
Chow
happens.
gun.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
the
Omo Chow gun.
yeah. And of course,
Omo
Roger
Chow
Fate-
gun is completely overpowered for no reason.
and then, of course, there's Roger's favorite weapon, stop sign.
Yes, the stop
Stop
sign.
sign.
Smacking the bad guys with the stop sign.
Yeah.
He's like, stop it!
Stop it!
Yeah, stop it! Stop it!
I should have made that joke.
Just whacking everyone. Just while
Yeah, well, I mean,
shouting,
you kind of
stop it.
did it. I mean, you did kind of do that in the way back with that Dracol episode, yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so it's a so yeah, seeing Shadow with a gun this time actually doesn't bother me. So
That's good.
I just hope they don't be like so super meta about it, like kind of what they did with Lego Dimensions. But yeah.
I'm sure they'll avoid. Yeah, they might have like a passing meta joke, but I don't think they'll linger on it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah,
it's,
I have a lot of I do have a lot of faith in the creators of the movies, actually, because they've shown that they just want to make fun movies for the fans.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, especially with Jeff Fowler still at the helm, with his.
yes, I think Jeff Fowler also plays a role because it's clear, it's obvious to me at least, he does have a clear vision of what he wants this movie series to be, which is great.
Yeah, he's a hell of a lot more reliable than that twat Aaron Weber.
I think what also helps is that he, as I said, he also did work on some Sonic games like Shadow and Next Gen.
Yeah, I think
You know.
Shadow's he's probably more well known for helping out with Shadow's game. Yeah.
Yeah, but he
thank
also
you-
did work
thank
on
you.
Next Gen cutscenes.
Thank you, Roger, for putting that on the screen.
Yeah, tell the
yeah.
people what the heck they're looking at.
Okay, so your wife was playing House Flipper a couple days ago, and one of the objects she found that you could buy to put in people's yards is this spring rocker called DeWay Spring Rocker. And it's just a goose that looks like Knuckles. I'm so shocked that that's just a thing. Oh my god. Anyway.
Speaking of memes, huh? Let's see if this
Yeah.
shows up in the movie.
Yeah. Well, no. They already did that reference in the last movie.
Fair enough. And I hear Melting Man crumbling from the inside. So that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
My wife just wanted to show that. So there you go.
Yeah, grumbling from inside the trash can.
Real quick, I wanted to give my thoughts on Shadow with a gun in general. I'm incredibly torn on that because, like, part of me hates, like, Shadow's... I mean, all of me hates Shadow's characterization in that game, Shadow the Hedgehog, because he's just, like, this overly edgelord, stupid character who, like, hates friendship and stuff. And I do everything alone. And all this, like, oh, I'm so badass bullshit. But on the other hand, him with a gun is just so cool.
I mean, to be fair, that was the style of the 2000s. 2010s was just more of the Flanderization take on it.
Well, yeah, but like that's also how Shadow acted in his own game. He was just he was the Flanderization before the Flanderization. Like the games before that, he's like, I will bring hope to humanity and protect the world. And Shadow the Hedgehog literally starts out with him going like, stupid humans, I'm not gonna rescue them.
Here's the thing about Shadow the Hedgehog it's an ironically hilarious game.
Yes, it is.
It's almost self-aware, and that's why I can't stay mad at it, even if, like, as Sala said, like, Shadow's characterization isn't the best. Yet for some reason, I still get a kick out of it. Because the whole game is just ridiculous from the get-go.
Yeah.
And, it's like, it tries to take itself seriously, but at the same time, it doesn't.
I
And
especially
so-
love having Sonic and Dark Doom as like a shoulder angel and devil instead of shoulder all the time.
Yeah.
Yes!
Come on, help people, help people. No, kill them all. It's like,
I think this game perfectly encapsulates the edgy 2000s in a way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like playing the game again after all this time.
yeah.
And also, I think another thing that helps is Jason Griffith's performance as Shadow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just he just had this way of it's like delivering this over the top edgy Shadow, and it comes off as so earnest but also so hilarious.
Yeah. Like
So-
I think maybe that's part of the reason why I do still love him in that game, because I hate his characterization, but like just hearing him say damn with his full chest so many times is just like, oh my god, I love this.
I love it. I hate it. I love it. I hate it.
It's terrible, but I love it. Ironically, though, the one line I'm like, but I mean, obviously there's like plenty of lines that are completely innocent, but one line in particular that I'm fine with is this is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me. Because everyone like takes that to mean he's like, oh, he thinks it's fine to take candy from a baby. No, he's just fine with something being easy. Why do people not know what a metaphor is?
Because metaphors are a foreign language to the Sonic fan base.
Yeah.
Just like alternate universes. And that's why they're so fucking obsessed with the whole quote-unquote canon. Yeah.
It's like the least edgy line in the game, and everyone takes it as the edgiest.
I think that says more about the fans than it does about Shadow.
Yes, 100%. That's what I'm saying. It drives me nuts that people misunderstand that.
Yeah. Misunderstanding metaphors since 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shadow's basically saying, well, this is too easy. Yeah, everyone translates it as like, my god, Shadow takes candies from babies? What a monster.
So wouldn't that make for a great scene where you see Shadow kick open a kindergarten? Okay, give your candy to me.
At gunpoint.
It's not good for your teeth anyway.
I think Elise just exploded.
Yeah, he goes and raids the tuck shop.
Yeah,
Hey, it's that
Jesus.
scene with Anakin from Return of the
Yes.
Sith where he kills a youngling, but then it's about candy.
Just give me your candy. No,
Master
give me
Anakin,
your
what do we
damn
do?
candy.
They say he's been taking candy from younglings.
Guys, we are going to give Elise a heart attack.
Well, at least she can die happy.
I'm sorry, this game is just hilarious. And it's like I remember when Roger and Luke were discussing comedy in Sonic Dissected. They brought up Shadow the Hedgehog, and you brought up several scenes where it's like when you stop and think about them, they are actually hilarious. Like when the aliens first attack. And then Shadow's like, look how pathetic they are. It's like, the humans didn't do anything. They just get randomly surprised by aliens.
Much to the wrath of Dracold.
And then my favorite one that, Roger, you pointed out was when a Black Doom and Shadow, they warp out into space and are staring at, Space Colony Arc and the vastness of space. And then Black Doom just interrupts it by saying, so you finally come to realize just how abominable these humans are. It's like, there are no humans anywhere. What are you talking about? It's just like, yes, this game it's just hilarious. It's ironically hilarious, even though it tries to be so serious and edgy and like make this big philosophical point, but it's just so funny.
That it is.
Ugh.
This remains one of my favorites.
I can see why. I swear this game is tailor-made to your parody mind.
Exactly.
They had you in mind when they made this.
Because they must have seen his animations at the time. It's like, oh yeah, he's doing so much funny stuff here. Let's give him some more material.
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder. Yeah.
And as I said, I think the secret sauce, I do think, is Jason Griffith's performance.
Thank goodness he takes
Always.
it seriously and gives it full dedication indeed.
Yeah.
And he still has heart to it as well, so that adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not just a jerk. Legitimately has.
Yeah,
that
I think that's
character
also another reason why a lot of people say that he is the ideal voice actor for Shadow, because he's able to pull this off.
Indeed.
Jason Griffith is
Personally, personally, I say he's the best because of the opposite, where he can pull off the actually kind-hearted Shadow, where, like, I can't get that from Kirk Thornton's performance.
Nope.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
I will admit I was being a bit facetious, but
Well, yeah.
Jason Griffith's always good. No one can hold a candle to his Shadow voice.
Yeah.
Except maybe Keanu Reeves. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, good
yeah.
point.
Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see
again,
how he
his
does.
voice actor in Prime was also good. Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah.
get a taste
Oh,
of
yeah,
that
Shadow.
soon
In the game, yeah.
in the game, yeah. Because Sonic X Shadow Generations is getting the movie DLC before the movie comes out.
Yeah,
And
I
I
5
don't-
days. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Well,
I was about to say, it's like, and he just held us up for so long, just like, what? Tell us. And now he's like, I don't know.
Well, at least I'll have something new to do in that game, because, yeah, with Shadow Generations, I've pretty much done everything. The only thing I haven't done yet was getting that achievement of beating the final boss with no hits. Yeah.
Well, at least it's more new material.
Yeah.
A little more compared to the original game, where all you got was just the, like Casino Night Zone pinball stage as sort of like a pre-order bonus.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that's actually in the remastered version this time.
Yeah,
not
it
it
is
is
in the
DLC.
remastered
Yeah.
version. But it's just like that was the only sort of DLC that they ever made for the original Sonic Generations. So it's
Ah,
nice we're finally getting a little more. With like,
Even
you
if
know,
it's gonna be short, but let's just pray that it's gonna be better than Episode Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, with the movie DLC, this might be the closest thing to having a movie tie-in game based on the Sonic movies. Ever since movie tie-in games are pretty much dead now.
Yeah, that's a shame. I really miss tie-in games. Even though they were usually bad games, but I always thought they had a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Lego games kind of filled in that void, but since the Skywalker Saga, we hardly be getting those sort of games these days.
Yeah, I'm missing
Yeah.
those too. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
just
also
a-
kind of miss how like certain versions of games would be like different. So like, okay, you got like like Disney's Aladdin, they're gonna make a video game on it. Then you have like it comes out in Genesis and then comes out on Super NES, and then you play both of them, and they're like very different in like style and gameplay and other bits and pieces. I kind of miss those days. Yeah.
I kind of recently I went to vacation in Spain and I found this video game Tad the Lost Explorer, which is also a tie-in video game. So they still are made, but at a very low budget. So I had a bit of a love or hate relationship with this game. Like, it's clearly very low budget and awkward, but I just kind of love the fact that we still have movie tie-in games. So they're still being made, but they're a little hard to find. So this one is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Very cheap, but kind of fun, I guess. But yeah, I think we have been talking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sylvia's trying to egg us on. It's like, let's let's move along.
like clapping her hands, like, come on, spit spot, you're on a time.
Yeah.
Alrighty, then it's time we shall enjoy the next YouTube poop from Sonic
it's-
Adventures.
Yeah.
it's the live stream planning in the pinned message section.
Yeah.
So just
And
count us
maybe-
in.
Yeah, and
when
maybe
we're
starts off
ready.
with a countdown this time, and not just
Yeah.
abruptly start it.
Sorry. I'll be counting down. Everyone ready?
All right.
Ready.
Yep.
Ready.
3,
Yep.
a 2, a 1, and
What are we gonna do? Come
How could my you not be my top priority? Because no excuses.
I walk a lonely road, having a good time.
If you want to, you'll be doomed to
look, it's the casino.
dumb fabric. Maya.
But don't you want to see Clown across the finish line?
Night.
And thank you, Melty, for that wonderful little
I think this is definitely one of my. I've only made a few, but I think this one is definitely one of my top favorites.
Yeah, quite a lot of funny ideas.
Yeah, especially that one of those last bits. It's like, oh, don't you want to see ground across the finish line? And it just gets like bumped up in the air by a passing car. Some nice visual gags, yeah.
But yeah,
Or grounder.
but yeah, chuckle with the with Robotnik saying "night night."
Clap, clap.
Yeah. Good night. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Sonic's mischievous grin.
That's a great one. Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah,
Perfectly
I know.
suitable.
Yeah, and then the MOP reference. Yeah, that was kind of the reason why I wanted to do this intro. It's like, oh yeah, this is the episode where he says fabric. It's like, yeah, let's do a dumb fabric joke. And by coincidence, this episode also had Robotnik saying dumb, so it made it a lot more easier for me.
I mean, I can't think of an episode where he doesn't.
You dumb bots.
I mean, he probably doesn't say dumb in a lot of episodes, but he definitely uses synonyms for it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's common and whatnot. Fabric, not so much.
Yeah.
Already.
While Sonic walks the lonely road.
Poor Sonic. Classic song. Sala, you were gonna do the synopsis for this one?
Trying to remember who was doing the synopsis.
That would be.
Oh, that's Sala.
It was me?
Well, yeah,
do your homework?
because I think you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it says, episode listing and you doing the intro. You doing
I think he just realised.
Shall we all do it together?
You fail, Sala.
Oh.
Because I was checking, because you were originally wanted to do the YTP for this, but Melty wanted to do it, so he's like,
and I
okay,
did
Melty can do it.
Oh,
and
no.
I'll do
And you didn't even watch the episode.
I know I watched it. I just didn't write a synopsis for it. Oh, shit.
Well, just make it up like Roger does.
Yeah,
just do what what me and Roger do. Improvise.
Improvise. Okay.
Even if it's
So.
rubbish.
I can keep it short.
Okay,
doesn't have to
so
be long.
Yeah. So the episode begins in some random small town where a literal loan shark is talking to someone named Lewis, who is a thing. And he is
He looks
already
kinda like a dog, like one of those
yeah,
I thought it was a naked
pugs.
sheep.
like a pug, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a sheep. Yeah.
He looks different from all the other sheep though. So
Fair
Maybe he's
Sheep
the rental
dog.
yeah. He's a sheepdog, as in the fusion of a sheep and a dog.
enough.
Anyways, so yeah, he begs with the loan shark. He says, "Please, don't worry, nothing." I have that in my notes.
I got it right now. That was a spot on impression.
Thank you. So yeah, they do rock paper scissors, and the loan shark wins, and now Lewis owes him labor, so he goes into the weird as fuck bus thing that just opens its mouth and rolls out its tongue on the side. I sure, yeah, that's par for the course on this show. So the bus leaves the town, and Tails notices that's the third one they've seen leaving the town, and immediately after a fourth comes by. So, out of curiosity, Sonic wonders where they're coming from, and instead decides to follow it instead. I thought he was gonna go back to the town where the bus came from, like he said he was, but he instead followed the bus. Anyway, they follow the bus to another town where the loan shark is scamming out some sheep with the little cup and ball game, but they're using walnut shells and a pea for some reason.
Yeah, it's the old 3-Cup Monty game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called. 3-Cup Monty. Yeah, the robot is going absolutely incredibly fast with the thing, so that none of the sheep even have a chance of winning. But the shark makes the mistake of promising that they can have all their stuff back if they win the next one. And Sonic's like, "Hey, I can keep track of this thing," and he gets it. He follows the P perfectly every time, even when they cheat and have the P fall through the table. Sonic somehow knew they did that too. And even though he doesn't prove it, it still causes the robot to self-destruct because he was not programmed to lose. So the sheep get all their stuff back. Hooray! We never see them getting their stuff back, but they I guess do. Meanwhile, in the deserts, the animators have no idea how pulleys work, as a bunch of sheep are pulling on a rope, which causes the other end to lower somehow, rather than raise. So this rope is just getting longer as they pull on it. Pharaoh Robotnik is enjoying the proceedings of them building a giant monument to him. When Grounder shows up with a telephone call, he announces that it is Robotnik Day because he declared so 1 minute ago. And yeah, so Grounder Grounder tells Smiley, like, "Oh, how dare you interrupt Robotnik on Robotnik Day?" And Robotnik's like, "Oh, it's Smiley, give me that shit." And he snatches the phone from him. And yeah, so they're talking about scamming people, and Smiley says, yeah, they won, with no explanation of how they won. So Robotnik just tells him to scam more people, and then hangs up. He asks Grounder how the Casino Night Zone is going, and Grounder announces that it's not open because he hasn't unlocked it yet. So Robotnik tells him to go unlock it, and he runs off, and they open the Casino Night Zone. And so Smiley the Lone Shark comes back and tells all the sheep, like, "Hey, go to Casino Night Zone. You get one free gamble, one free bet." And all the sheep are like, "Oh shit, sweet." After having just renounced gambling, they run back at the chance to gamble, and immediately they get literally fleeced as the slot machines grow arms and yank their wool off of them. In a observation booth, Scratch reveals to Grounder that they are cheating. All of the games are rigged in Robotnik's favor, which is somehow, for some reason, done with a computer that they keep somewhere in the building. And Sonic notices the odd happenings at the roulette table as the ball seemingly has a mind of its own. So, as a wheel is spinning, which has several yellow and white slices and one blue one that says lose, you know, it looks like good odds. You have a good chance of not losing. As the wheel starts spinning, Sonic disguises himself as a
Melting Man.
as Melting Man, yeah.
No,
I was gonna say
no, it's a knockoff version of me because he's clearly not having the mining hat.
Yeah, he doesn't have a miner's helmet.
No, the inferior mining hat in my day.
I was just gonna say a generic handyman, but no, that is almost exactly Melty's outfit.
You just got the wrong hat, yeah.
And he pretends to find Scratch and Grounder funny as he demands he needs their keys to go fix some electrical thing or check their meter or whatever. Yeah, he goes and asks them where the computer that rigs the games is, and they just tell him. So he runs off and he reprograms it so that all the machines will instead win. And so we come back to the wheel, and now the blue slice says win. But it lands on that, so they all win. And even though all of these games are rigged in Robotnik's favor, they're still programmed to pay out, I guess. I don't know why. That seems very counterproductive.
It's not very good at programming, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like underground Robotnik all over again.
Yeah.
He's like really competent, but then just does one really stupid thing that ruins it. Sonic then approaches Scratch and Grounder again, who finally see through his disguise before he does a James Bond impression and leaves. He tells Tails that he should stay hidden because like it's dangerous, and Tails admits that he'll just slow Sonic down. So they find a daycare at the Casino Night Zone, which is totally not suspicious at all. There's even a very, trustworthy looking pig babysitter who is not wearing pants.
Yeah.
And so Tails just immediately jumps into the ball pit and starts having fun. Hooray!
Yay.
Sonic gets Scratch and Grounder to chase him to a dam where he hides the giant sluice lever and turns it into a giant slot machine. And he gives Scratch and Grounder one free pull each, and they both decide to pull it at the same time, and they win, which they get water. They get water from the dam, and then they fall off the dam. Meanwhile, back at the damn. Meanwhile, back at the play care, whatever.
Ball pit.
The ball pit into the pit. The pig informs Tails that it costs 1 million mobiums to use the ball pit. And when Tails tells her that he wants to speak to the manager, she tells him that Robotnik is the manager. And then she pulls a lever that causes the floor to open and everything to fall in, and Tails, I guess, forgets he can fly. So he just falls down.
Let's just say that the balls are like all falling on him. Yeah. So that's why he can't fly. Yeah.
Even though he's on top of all of them.
Little animation error there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tails just forgot. Anyway, he ends up in a cage, and Robotnik starts taunting him. Robotnik is huge compared to Tails here.
Yeah.
And, as he taunts Tails by telling him that he'll be using him as bait to trap Sonic, Tails ties his mustache to the bars. And, anyway, so Sonic returns to the Casino Night Zone and, is unable to find Tails. Smiley the Lone Shark tells Sonic that they have captured Tails, and, to get Tails back, he has to challenge Robotnik to a race and lose the race, which Sonic is not happy about. He goes through, the stages of grief pretty quickly. And, yeah. And so, yeah, he has to go, and everyone's betting on Sonic to win the race, because naturally, Sonic would win the race. Scratch is announcing the race. The point of the race is they do one lap around the arena, and then go to the top of Mount Robotnik, and grab a flag, and then return, and do one more lap around the arena. And, in the dressing room, or in the locker rooms, Sonic is just sitting there, kind of stretching his feet. When Robotnik comes in to taunt him yet more, reminding him that if he does not lose this race, then Tails will be lost forever. And Sonic gets really depressed. He goes to the starting line, and Scratch announces the rules of the race, which are none. There are no rules. And Grounder immediately takes off, and Scratch hits Sonic on the head to announce that the race has started. I thought that was kind of funny that they both cheat right off the bat. Sonic immediately catches up to Grounder, but Grounder reminds him what's at stake, so Sonic just starts walking instead. Much to the dismay of all of the people who bet their lives on Sonic.
Yep.
Sonic has his rather dark moments of just reflecting on what his choices are here. As Grounder goes to the top of the mountain, grabs the flag, and then shoves a boulder on Sonic, who gets flattened. Grounder then taunts Sonic, but in doing so reveals where Tails is being hidden, which gives Sonic hope back. So he immediately rushes back to the arena, where the crowd is not celebrating. The crowd is booing as Grounder returns and is one lap away from winning the race. Sonic goes to the arena and digs underground, Sonic, to rescue Tails, and then they hop out of the... He digs back up, right in front of the finish line, snags the flag, and crosses the finish line, even though he didn't do the lap around the arena first, so it didn't count anyway.
Hey, no rules.
Not that it matters. Yeah, not that it matters, because even though you can clearly see a crowd behind him, the stands are empty, as Robotnik has already declared victory and stolen all of the people who bet against Sonic, or bet on Sonic. And so, yeah, they are once again not using the magic pulley system to lengthen the rope to lower Robotnik's head onto the Sphinx statue. When Sonic shows up and he cuts all the rope, again proving that they don't know how pulleys work, because that does not immediately cause the thing to fall. And Sonic then lowers it down and then does magic on it to make it look like him instead of Robotnik. And then Robotnik throws a temper tantrum, and day is saved, and the sheep decide to become freedom fighters. And then Scratch and Grounder decide to have a race on a train track bridge, and then they they have to jump off to avoid the train. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised it didn't get hit by the train.
Yeah.
I guess they were smart
I
enough
mean,
for once.
considering how often they get absolutely broken to pieces, you'd think this would have been like nothing for them.
Yeah.
But they jump off the cliff instead, and Sonic thinks it's funny, but not if you do it. Don't do it, kids.
Just let the idiots do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let the idiots do it.
Yeah. Robots are not people, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So we get Luke's favorite moral lesson here. Don't die, kids.
Yeah, don't be dead.
Don't die. Don't be
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, don't be unalived. Yeah.
I think I recall there was like a PSA like this, a British one back in like the 70s about messing around on railway tracks, and I think it did show like a kid being hit by a train.
Oh yeah, British can be very dark in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think some people reacted to that video and they were like surprised, like they actually showed this to kids. Like yes,
That'll teach them. I mean, they do that in the Netherlands here too. Like for fireworks, they have a lot of commercial where they show people losing their fingers and all that.
Oh my god!
Not bloody, but just the stump of the arm, just to scare them off.
Yeah.
And not be.
yeah, because I think Sala saw like that, like the firework video in the Netherlands.
Yeah, the how to survive Dutch fireworks video.
Yeah, we love our fireworks. Yeah.
Sylvia told me to react to that on my stream, so I did. When Euan described Dutch fireworks as a war zone, I thought he was being hyperbolic. He was not. Jesus Christ. And it's so funny, because, like, I was watching this with my friend, and as we're watching, we're like, how much does it cost to fly to the Netherlands? And we decided to make a goal for that for next year, to try and go to New Year's in the Netherlands. And what's funny is, like, I showed the video to some friends, and while they were watching it, they said the exact same thing.
Well, it'd be a
And I
nice
just
time
got
to meet up.
a group of friends who want to go to the Netherlands want to go to Amsterdam for
Explosive
New Year's
places.
next year. Yeah.
I might tag along.
Sure.
It'd be nice to meet up with some of you guys. Yeah, I've never left America before, actually.
It's quite expensive.
Not even. Yeah, I've never even been to Canada or anything.
Mm. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
me
can't
neither.
find it.
Fair enough, but America's huge. You have a lot to discover just within America.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 48 states on the main continent, and then we have one at the northern tip of Canada, and then one with Hawaii.
There you go. So
Yeah.
even
We
within
have
America,
Alaska
you
and
have plenty
Hawaii.
to see. Yeah, I've been to America 3 times. Once to Canada and twice to the USA. So, yay.
Yay! Hooray!
But I didn't meet any of you.
Oh,
Maybe next
Sad
time.
Yeah.
violin music plays.
We'll come to Sacramento next time.
Perhaps. Sylvia still wanted to go to California, yeah. Instead, I went to Detroit, the ultimate city of America to go to.
Oh boy.
Can't have poop in
Take him to
Detroit.
Detroit.
Wasn't my choice either. I was invited to a Comic-Con because of my animation, so I was just happy they were paying my airplane ticket, so...
That was nice of them.
That was very nice of them, Sonic Paradox. That's
Otherwise, you'd have been like, "No, I'm not going to pay money to go to Detroit."
Oh, well, the parts of Detroit I was in, it was nice. So, there you go.
Anyways, back to this episode.
Yes, let's talk about this
Episode,
episode.
Yes, because
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
looking at,
Yeah,
I'm just
so
looking at that Sonic face, like being like, and of course,
Hell
you
yeah. You have that
being
big
like
grin.
Sonic grabbing some nuts.
Ugh.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Well,
I,
freeze
the
the
face
nuts
is
off
absolutely
it.
hilarious. I just don't like the caption that goes with it.
Well.
I'm sorry.
Naughty, naughty,
I have a
look.
very specific sense of humor, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
I
not-
suppose you liked my take on it better with the where it was just a static image and then the pig lady showed up in his eyes.
That was funny. That was funny. Just a static image where I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh no, what's he?
Yeah.
Naughty, naughty, look. Naughty, naughty.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have a very specific sense of humor, and that's not it.
Yeah, it's
so,
understandable.
You're not amused.
Oh yeah.
at least it's not amused.
I kind of like Scratch in this episode. He's kind of silly. The main focus is on Grounder, but like Scratch is up in the announcer booth,
Yeah.
just being silly. I also like how like he's shockingly supportive of Grounder in this episode.
Yeah, like,
Like-
you actually
like-
hear him say, like he's referring to him as his brother. It's like, aw.
Yeah,
It's like you rarely
yeah.
see.
Yeah, he calls Grounder his little brother because he's proud of him for winning the race, and he even tells Robotnik like, "Don't you want to see Grounder across the finish line?" Because he's excited for Grounder to win.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's just like his own vanity. He's like, "Yeah, that's my brother that's winning out there. This is
Yeah.
my win as well." But it's still kind of wholesome. I like it.
Yeah.
I love his bug eyes.
Oh, yeah, the first picture is definitely great. Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
It's about me.
I love the idea of him trying to do journalism and there's Robotnik constantly storming into his office to complain. That is a fun concept.
Yeah, it's like, oh, shut the fuck up, Scratch. Yeah.
Just get on with it.
yeah, I like that panel where like Robotnik opens the door and it's like, "What's that you say about my mum?"
My mother.
We're gonna meet her eventually.
or
Oh,
it's like
it's-
that. Or it's like he walked in on Scratch saying, "What are you looking at, Scratch? It better not be porn."
Oh yeah, like the frame. Yeah, it does kind of look like he's looking at a computer screen. Yeah.
When you're watching anime and a family member walks in at the wrong time.
Oh no.
Live
They
stream.
always do.
Disgusting.
I am apparently particularly amused by that screenshot based on how I look on screen.
Oh yeah. Scratch is in trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah, or in terms of something related to my intro, it's like Robotnik's just barking. It's like, "Are you fucking watching My Little Pony?"
You reacted to My Little Pony. No.
Oh yeah. The Sonic with droopy ears frame is weird. I did not crop that image properly. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's so looks so weird. But also, I love that spear frame.
Yeah, I had trouble getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a few tries to get that screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I mentioned that in the synopsis. He's just like, "Hey, what gives? Where'd everyone go?" And there's just a crowd of people in the stands. Still.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah.
I have no.
Turn around.
Go ahead, Luke.
I was just saying, I found it interesting how bizarre the casino looked because there was like really weird abstract shapes, and there's like a giant martini glass in the background.
I didn't even notice that. Let me see.
Nice
What
little background gags, yeah. Yeah, I saw someone in the comments saying like, "Oh, the robot, like the robot in the top hat does not look like a Sonic character," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I just think it's cool. I like the design, with the hat and the card in there.
Yeah.
It is a fun design of a Hassler, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just checked. This episode was released on September the 20th, so September the 20th is officially Robotnik Day. Because Robotnik declared it so. Robotnik declared that it's Robotnik Day, and this episode was released on September the 20th.
Okay. So
for
now
some
we know when
reason-
Robotnik Day is.
Yeah. Though for some reason, like Discord just felt like, no, we cannot tell you this. We cannot tell you this. Like, start stuttering. We got to cover up like it's Robotnik Day on the 20th.
Did I cut out for a moment? Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
you were cutting out quite a bit,
Oh, sorry about that.
but we heard it in the end.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Apparently, you received a like $1.99 dono.
Oh, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yeah,
Two
from
bucks from Matthew.
ask Elise if she knows Pepper Ann, the cartoon series. I'm assuming.
Actually, yes, I have heard of that series, and I did watch a little bit when I was a kid. I just don't remember much of it.
Yeah, I feel like she might have answered that before, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, what is with this guy and his obsession with Pepper Ann? Does he have like a crush on her or something?
First, because Tiffany from A&B kind of resembled her, but I think Elise wasn't there that episode. But yeah.
Ah.
But hey, at least Elise saw it. I never saw it, I think.
I did see it, but my memory of it's very hazy because it was so long ago.
I remember the title theme song, but that's about it.
Very well.
So yeah.
And-
Theme song was cool.
Yeah.
Man, theme songs are often cool from the 80s and 90s. They knew what they were doing.
There is something I do want to talk about. In the scene where you see Tails playing miserably in the ball pit, it reminds me of a certain infamous incident years ago called a Dash Con. It was basically a massive con. Yes, it was a massive con organised by apparently 4chan. It was like advertised as massive con. But the incident itself, all it was just a massive room with just a tiny ball pit. And they said like, instead of we can actually give you extra time in the ball pit or something. And they're saying like, the ball pit is like might have needles or bodily fluids or something.
Oh yeah, like people like pissing in the ball pit. Yeah.
It was actually Tumblr, not 4chan.
Right.
Yeah, Tumblr. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tumblr. Because I thought, I think it was something else besides 4chan.
I wasn't sure if it was one of the two it was. Oh, right. Tumblr, right.
Extra hour in the ball pit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it cost like 1 million Mobians for Tails.
Yeah.
It was predicting the future.
But yeah, of course, a
Man, now that I'm
Robotnik Run Casino has a daycare center. Smart, Sonic.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm looking at this ball pit, like those plastic balls are like pretty massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is up with that? If you
Almost
could
like
like
footballs.
easily knock someone out with them.
They
Surprise
look like
Tails.
dodgeballs.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look like dodgeballs or bowling balls. Yeah.
Surprise Tails didn't throw them at the pig lady.
Ah, yeah.
It's like, you're never gonna take me alive. Ew.
Oh man, that would have been I think that would have been a fun YouTube poop joke. You know, Tails playing in the ball pins, like, "Oh, having a good time," and then you just see the ball like whack her in the face.
He was just so stunned of seeing Robotnik in that nice suit that he was.
Wait,
able to
I have the perfect soundboard for this. Hold on.
Oh, there it
doing. I'm kind of surprised the lady didn't get a comeuppance. Like even the shark guy, he also didn't really get a comeuppance either. So the enemies were dealt with mercilessly this episode. Even Robotnik didn't get much of a punishment.
Sonic did like pop the shark guy's inner tube, or not inner tube. It was more of a floating mattress.
Yeah.
And that like bounced him around the pool before causing him to sink.
Yeah, but still not much of a punishment. Oh no, he has to swim
Not
with a
much.
shark.
Yeah, and even then, you like see him at the like the booth. You know, like, I bet my life Sonic will win the race. Heh, you are. And that's it. That's the last time we see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now that I think about it, I think this is the first time in any official Sonic media we see like organic anthro-aquatic characters show up in Sonic. It's old Smiley.
Old Smiley.
Yeah, maybe
I have
that's
to
the
say,
reason
though,
why.
that
Maybe that's the reason why Sega is so against aquatic Mobians in Sonic media. It's all because of this asshole. Damn
Yeah.
you! Razor the Shark was a better character than you could ever imagine.
I will say, I gotta say though, going back to that pig lady, she is incredibly sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially that close up. Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
Yeah, showbiz has taken its toll on Miss Piggy.
This is pretty much the result of Muppets 3D being shut down.
There you go.
Ah,
How depressing.
yeah.
It's kind of funny that this episode has a better Sophie's Choice than Sonia's Choice from Sonic Underground.
That's
Because,
true.
like, yeah, because that episode, like, we made fun of the fact that, like, Sonia had, like, this Sophie's Choice, and, like, she sang a whole sad song about it, and then immediately it's just like, oh, I'm gonna save them both.
Yeah. Especially
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Meanwhile, the only reason Sonic is able to win in this case is because Grounder snitched where Tails was being hidden. Otherwise, he was fully ready to lose this race and give up all of these people's freedom just to save Tails.
Yeah. Then again, I still think the Sonya one is still funny, mostly because, like, oh, my brothers are, like, trapped in different parts of the world. What am I gonna do? I know. I'll burst out into song.
We're gonna save them both.
Yeah.
Sonia, that song lasted over a minute. They'd already been roboticized.
Yeah.
No, it was gonna be fine. Queen Alina was gonna save them both.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Dusek Machina.
Manic was never in trouble.
I have to say though, the part of this episode that made me laugh out loud the hardest was when Grounder got to the top of that mountain and then he's like, oh, what else am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, picks up this massive rock, chucks it down at Sonic, and Sonic doesn't even bother to get out of the way. At first I thought he was going to dodge it, but no, he gets hit. He gets hit with it full on, flattened to a pancake, and I just burst out laughing.
Because it's so rare for Sonic to be at the receiving end of slapstick. That's true.
I think this is something we all want to see happen to Sonic.
Yeah, especially if it's 2010 Sonic. Yeah.
Oh, poor Sonic.
I think another reason is because I'm so used to Sonic just like nowadays just evading trouble and evading pain that him getting hit full on with a rock just. It's the same thing that happened in Sonic Underground when he traversed that fire field. He reached the end, he was like, haha, and I was like, oh, a freaking course. And then a fire pillar shoots up from underneath him, and I just started laughing.
Yeah.
It's true. I was surprised too to see Sonic being the victim of slapstick for once. That's very rare indeed.
Yeah.
So, finally, a score for Grounder.
Long overdue.
Indeed.
Yep.
And then Sonic's just laying there like, what the heck just hit me?
Yeah. So it is.
And then I have to say though, I really love the squash and stretch and also just the comedic, like lengths that they will go to make these characters look as absolutely funny as possible.
Yeah.
Inflating Sonic's head and then having like his body parts just like detached from his body for a moment, only hanging on by a thread, and then being as flat as a pancake. No, flatter than a
Yeah.
pancake.
Yeah.
It's true. Great, great face expressions in this one. Good stuff.
Including how joyful Robotnik is, seeing that his like Sphinx is almost finished. It's like,
Oh, yeah. How about that sexy Egyptian Robotnik, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Elise is going, ugh, even though she doesn't realize I had to draw him in the thumbnail.
Yeah, you really have to spend a lot of attention to him.
Yeah.
That's why Tails is like,
I saw
got
that.
that reaction. He's like, no.
Trust me, I saw that. I just chose not to do anything. Or I chose not to say anything.
Although looking at the stream, it looks so robotic. It's like so cheerfully looking up at like Sonic and Tails. They're just grumbling. It's like, how dare Robotnik take all those people before we finish the race? It's like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's like, haha, those are fake. Yeah, those are stand-in cutouts. Yeah.
And there we go.
Good stuff. But yeah, all applause for you and for putting all the effort into drawing the Egyptian Robotnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a sacrifice you had to make to stare at this Robotnik for such a long time.
Yeah, brave man.
Yeah.
And of course, Sala's like pointing and laughing at Sonic at that moment. It's like,
Yeah.
Like, they're right behind you! Dummy!
Yeah. But
point
yeah,
and laugh.
But yeah, speaking of Robotnik, I also another thing I really liked with the episode was that whole discussion that he has with Sonic in the locker room, and it you know, like, if you don't throw the race, he's doomed, and it's like an interesting combination of Robotnik being both threatening and still comical, because you know the whole you don't expect one of your robots to honestly win, do you? Honestly? Of course not. I never do anything honestly. It's a nice blend of both serious and funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff indeed. Shall we move on to the next episode?
Yeah. Just laughing at how his face is like. While Sonic is just moping, annoyed, and always like, "Oh, can he just go away, please? No, I'm going to taunt you."
Yeah, or maybe he's like, "Ah, shit, my mouth's glued shut."
That's yummy.
All right.
I also love that when Sonic redoes the face on the Sphinx to make it look like him. He also gave it the ability to move.
Yeah, he gave him life. Yeah.
Pure magic, yeah.
I also liked when the Robotnik heads were laughing at Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Through the race, or tails, or tails.
Bit creepy.
And of course, the song was stuck in my head the entire time I was watching this episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny thing when I was putting that together, I was like, oh, maybe that joke's been done before, but fuck it. So I did that, and when I was noticing Sonic's movement, it's like, oh wow, that can actually properly lip sync to the song. So I slowed it down a bit so that it actually did look like Sonic was singing.
Yeah, especially at the end.
I did notice
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is not the song I was referring to, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Win the Race.
Win the race, obviously.
Win the race.
Oh, yeah.
Win the
Just
race.
win the race. Win the race. Just win the race.
Classic.
Yep.
Right, shall we move on to the next episode? Breakout.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next episode.
I have uploaded the intro to live stream planning.
All
All right.
Hopefully, it'll be worth the length that it is.
It's only a minute. But yeah, everyone ready?
Ready.
Almost.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. Why? Why almost? Why almost?
Found
What's
it.
happened?
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't pinned. Okay.
Well, it's the newest message.
Yes.
Oh, now there it is.
Brand new message.
Sorry, my head's all stuffed up and I can't think.
No
Fair
worries.
enough.
Stuffed up for Christmas.
Can't understand.
I hope not.
Alrighty, shall we count down for
Yep.
a
Yep.
3,
Yes.
a 2, a 1, break.
Squadala, we're off.
Hey, aren't I taller than that?
That's a trick!
Crown Princess as my
It
daughter.
can't be.
In fact, you may call me Dad.
Do your worst, Daddy.
What the fuck?
If he thinks he can lock people up just for making fun of him, he's got another think coming.
No, thinner. More muscles. More handsome. Yes, that's it. That's what I look like.
Well, let's see it. Now that's art.
Then there was the time I restructured the DNA of my fingers, turned it into a tapeworm. Draw that next.
Those Robotniks just gave me an advanced copy of the love comic book with Queen Alina and Robotnik. Oh! Look out! Ah!
My boys.
Oh my god.
Great wordplay, yeah.
Now you can understand why I wanted the extra time for it.
Oh my goodness.
JoJo's reference, Sala's Day's been made.
Yeah.
Had to include that in.
Oh wow, that was a masterpiece.
Good.
Yes,
It will be uploaded to Twitter at some point.
Ah, yeah. A nice
And I
blend
just
of
realized I
classic
watched the wrong episode for this live stream.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
you're
watched a different episode.
Shall we take a 20-minute break while Elise takes
No.
I'm sure it'll re-jog your memory when we go through the synopsis. Yeah.
I don't think so. I've never seen that episode before.
Well, you will now.
Well, you can comment on the screenshots on screen, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just point and laugh at some of the goofiness of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
you
so
were,
since I did-
believe
Yes.
you were the voice.
Yes, I'm. Was known to the YTP, but I'm also doing the synopsis, and unlike Sala, I am prepared.
Yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, I'll keep rubbing it in until the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Knock it off.
Well, in retaliation, real quick, you seem to like mock Sonic for saying "think" when he said they have another think coming.
Well, it sounded more like he said "think."
Yes, because he did. Because that's correct.
Yeah.
But it's like, if he thinks that, Robotnik could just throw people in jail, he's got another think coming.
Yes.
That's why I
correct.
typed think. I don't know, to me it just sounded
He's doing
like...
it intentionally.
But I think it's supposed to be he's got another thing coming.
Yes, that's what
It's
I was
not supposed to
indicating.
be.
Like, it's supposed to be, he's got another thing coming, but yet, for whatever
No,
reason,
it's not.
Sonic in this one says he's got another think coming. And I'm like,
Ewan,
that's a bit weird.
listen to me.
No, I will
Sonic
not
is
listen to you.
correct for saying
I
think.
refuse to listen to you.
Are you
Because
sure
I'm
you
more
watched the
used
right-
to hearing
going to
saying
use
he's got
mine.
another thing coming.
Yes, and those people are wrong.
In your opinion.
That's not my opinion.
Are you sure you
Yes,
watched the
it
right
is.
episode, as Ewan?
Still, Anyway.
That's a British saying. Is to have a think.
it doesn't matter at this point,
Because
though.
Sonic is going to use his brain.
See, that's the problem. Sonic using his brain.
Much like how I need to use my brain, apparently, according to everyone else here.
No. I was confused
That was
as
like
well.
the last. I mean, that was
Well,
the
hey,
last minute.
half of us are American, so we're not used to British slangs and whatnot.
So are you going to think
Yeah.
or think?
That'll depend what chat thinks.
Yeah. Doesn't mean what chat things.
The thinky thingy.
Put on your thinking caps.
You're thinking perhaps.
Yeah. It's a thing dish thingy.
The thing in the
Like-
thingy.
Anyway, better get on with this, otherwise, it's just gonna last ages. Anyways,
I just gotta say, I love you guys.
it's good to know that we bring a smile to your face every time we stream.
Yeah, even if you do make me bust a gut.
Worth it. Anyways.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, better start talking about the episode, otherwise, Sylvia's going to start complaining. Anyway. The story starts with Sonic and Tails seeing a delivery truck travelling at high speeds towards the nearest town, revealing it's delivering Tails' favourite comic book that he's eager to get. Sonic playfully taunts the two-tailed fox for being worried, which he responds he ain't, but when he noticing the truck is entering the outskirts of the city, Tails gives off the cutest worried yell and admits he's worried as he flies off to the newsstand. With the truck nearing to its destination, Sonic runs at high speed, reaching the newsstand before Tails and the truck, where he asks for the newest issue of Crack-Up's animated talking comic book. Tails says he's been waiting a month, with Sonic responding saying the only problem with the comic is that it doesn't get released fast enough, which most Sonic fans can agree to. Meanwhile, Robotnik shows off to Scratch and Grounder his newest inescapable prison, which he calls Robotnik's Rot Your Life Away Dungeon. I can't do the R's, unfortunately, sorry. However, he notices the two robots laughing at a comic book, which he sees they were laughing at an animated segment of Robotnik as Humpty Dumpty having fallen off the wall, breaking into two pieces, saying he's fallen and can't get up, while the citizens just laugh. This angers the real Robotnik to the point that he orders Scratch and Grounder to find the artist and bring him back to his new prison. Where over at the Crack-Up's building, Scratch and Grounder locate the creator, author and artist, Sketch Lampoon, and takes him away to the prison. Back at the newsstand, Sonic is on the floor laughing at the Humpty Dumpty joke, before Tails shows him the free poster of the blue hedgehog, where he criticizes it for not having him being taller. He then overhears that on the radio that the artist of Crack-Ups went missing, as well as Robotnik opening up a new prison, with Sonic putting the two together that Robotnik must have imprisoned Sketch there for the comic. The impression of him as a Humpty Dumpty. Sonic and Tails rush and arrive at the prison, where they spy on Robotnik in the control tower, where they witness on the security feed of Sketch Lampoon being locked in his cell, while overhearing of Robotnik telling the uninterested computer to alert him of any breaches of security. Sonic then gets the idea that the easiest way for him to get the artist out before the computer knows what's going on is by letting them catch him, as he then rushes to set up his plan to get caught while having some fun along the way. Disguised as a window cleaner, he paints himself on the window mocking the Doctor, in which he orders Scratch and Grounder to capture him, although they fumble at it where Sonic lands the window cleaning platform on top of them. Then he and Tails, disguised as surfer dudes, to trick the bots into taking a hang glider over the sea, where they strip off the material, where they splash land into the sea. Well, I say they might as well just splash into the sea, because there's no land on the sea, unless it's an island. Sonic and Tails put a large ship anchor up, as the speedy blue hedgehog then builds a sandcastle around it and tells his two-tailed friend to hide. Just as Scratch and Grounder make it to the beach, where they spot Sonic slowly running, exhausted from all the sand slowing him down, where they make chase with Scratch riding on Grounder's shoulders. Sonic attempts to fool them with sand statues of a cannon and a bear, before tricking them into crashing into the giant sandcastle and getting hit with the anchor, with Sonic and Tails having a big laugh at their misfortune. With Scratch and Grounder putting themselves back together, they notice Sonic is lying on the beach exhausted, in which the two bots capture Sonic and take him back to the prison, as Tails watches on, hoping the Hedgehog knows what he's doing. In the prison, Robotnik leads the captured Hedgehog through the hallways, gloating that he can now imprison his most hated enemy in his new inescapable prison. They pass by Sketch Lampoon's cell, with Sonic chatting with him about being a big fan of the comic, as well as critiquing about the poster, though quietly drops that he'll get him out, as he then loudly continues that he's liking of the Humpty Dumpty joke, which annoys Robotnik into continuing on to Sonic's cell, which he specially built just for the blue hedgehog, much to the Sonic's shock that he might be in real trouble with this one as we fade to the commercials. Robotnik shows off to Sonic his wing of the prison with nuclear forged steel building and a nuclear forged cell to prevent Sonic from being able to spin dash out of it. However, if Sonic should somehow escape, he has a fuel-injected turbocharged swiveling spear shooter and a triple-action beryllium-powered lickety-split laser launcher that are programmed to shoot at anything that's hedgehog blue, and to finish it all off with a giant swinging extra spiky demolition ball to make sure there's nothing left. Sonic mocks their doctor with a Humpty Dumpty joke that results in Robotnik tightly squeezing the hedgehog by the neck and throwing him in the cell, closing the door and ordering Scratch and Grounder to guard the cell while he prepares to do evil things. Where he starts off by ordering Sketch Lampoon to have the next issue of Crack-Ups dedicated to himself in a positive light, including having him being drawn in as a thinner, more muscles with more handsomer body, physique as it were, much to Lampoon's disgust and annoyance. Meanwhile, back in the Sonic wing of the prison, the Hedgehog overhears Scratch and Grounder fighting over the Crack-Ups comic book, with him getting an idea. He attracts the attention of the two bots with his laughing at an advanced copy of a new Crack-Ups comic that Sketch Lampoon sent him before he was captured, offering the two bots if they want to read it. While Grounder mentions they can't open... Hold on a sec. While Grounder mentions they can't open the cell as Sonic might escape, Sonic says he can't get away as he's in chains as well as defenses being in place. So he can't get away even if he could. So he leaves the comic on the floor for them to pick up, where, upon the moment their backs are turned, Sonic sticks the Sonic poster that came with the comic on Grounder's back. The two bots realise that the comic they're reading is actually the recent comic they were only just reading. As Grounder turns round to Sonic, the poster on his back triggers the defenses, where they get zapped, blown up, and smashed by the wrecking ball, with Sonic's cell being destroyed in the process. Sonic swipes the keys, freeing him from his chains, and unlocks the building where Tails flies in to greet Sonic, where he tells his two-tailed friend to trip all the outside sensors while he rushes into the prison to trigger an alarm sensor. Meanwhile, Robotnik tells Lampoon about the time that he rearranged the DNA of their class's pet hamster by turning it into a tapeworm when the alarm goes off. Robotnik, realizing Sonic must have escaped as he sees him on the monitor and checking what happened with Scratch and Grounder. He orders them to stop the Hedgehog as Sonic and Tails start setting off all the sensors and traps, causing the computer to overload from too many sensors going off at once. Sonic gets chased by Scratch and Grounder. While the Hedgehog effortlessly triggers and avoids the traps, the two bots are forced to be extra careful not to trigger any more of those traps. The computer is overloading, wanting a more quieter job as a cashier register before it starts to blow up, causing the prison to start crumbling. After Sonic tricks Scratch and Grounder into activating a trap, he rushes to free Sketch Lampoon, who's relieved that he's being freed, as he's had enough of listening to Robotnik's life stories, and intends for the next Crack-Ups issue to make Robotnik look even more foolish and stupider than before. Sonic, with Lampoon and Tails, manage to get clear of the prison as well as Scratch and Grounder from the other side as the place explodes. Sonic then tells Lampoon that he's doubtful he can make Robotnik look any stupider as they see him in the wrecked remains of his prison, having fallen on his back and unable to get up as he yells, "I hate that hedgehog!" In the Sonic Says segment, Tails is about to spray paint on the side of a building, with Sonic running in to tell him that while art is cool, using a building as a canvas is graffiti. He crudely repaints the graffitied wall and brings over two canvases and starts painting a thumb with no fingers, while Tails spray paints a chili dog, much to Sonic's approval, to that being art. The end.
Euan, you forgot the most important part. The part where Sala is still bothering you about the thinking. Another think coming.
Oh my gosh.
How lovely.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that I use the British thing and you use the American saying.
That's because I keep growing up with American stuff.
Understandable. Judas Priest didn't help the matter at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's drop it. Back to the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, back to the actual episode.
Yeah.
So first off, I just want to say, damn, they got some impressive comic book technology in this world.
yeah.
Yeah, with the pictures and everything.
Especially paper pin.
With sound effects, animation, and everything. Yeah.
And a free
And
poster.
narration as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And voice acting as well. And like, I don't think Sketch Lampoon did those voices himself. They didn't sound like him.
Nope.
Yeah.
He hired actual voice actors for this comic book, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Oh no, he got AI. To do
Yeah.
it. He got AI to do it.
Oh,
no.
no. Yeah.
No, let's just say this is like comic dubs before comic dubs were a thing.
There you go. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one image of Sonic going like blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't I taller than that?
Yeah, it's just that face. It's just all like,
It-
yeah, like he just ate the fat chili dog.
It's
Not sure how
especially funny
wonky
that
his eyes look.
Roger's image would
especially-
have been perfect in his Sonic Frontiers animation that he did with Amy.
Jeez.
Mm.
Here's a more accurate drawing of Sonic.
it's
You're
especially a
welcome, buddy.
weird, it's especially a weird expression because it kind of comes out of nowhere. He looks normal for most of that sentence.
Yeah.
And just out of nowhere does that.
Yeah. Exaggerated
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
I mean, especially considering like he's put a lot of emphasis on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's bitter about it. That thing, that drawing. I hope this Sonic never watches my cartoons because he constantly have this face expression.
I imagine you put that in like a small sort of like one split second frame of like just Sonic talking and just being like blah.
I think my favorite this episode has a treasure trove of weird expressions, but I think my favorite would have to be Robotnik when he goes, "Yeah, that's what I look like," as he twizzles his moustache.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much me when I'd had my passport photo taken.
What? Before or during the photo? Like that's what I look like.
Before, when he goes into his skulls.
Do you grow such a wonderful moustache first, too?
Oh, my
Yes.
God. Speaking of that scene, my absolute favorite joke in this entire episode is when the alarm goes off and Robotnik just like glares at Sketch for a few seconds and he's like, "You haven't escaped. I would have noticed that." It's like so there's two prisoners in here. The alarm is going off. He's like, who could it be?
Funny enough,
He has these process of elimination.
funny enough, when I was hearing the announcer computer voice, it reminds me of the voice in Half-Life, the kind of like the echoey announcer
Oh,
voice.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know what I'm on about.
Yeah. Yeah, from the first.
But it sounded
Half-Life
like-
game, yeah.
I thought it sounded like H. John Benjamin, the guy who voices Archer,
All right.
and Bob from Bob's Burgers.
I do kind of like that whole concept of them setting off all the sensors and the computers having to acknowledge all of them one by one. Especially when you see Tills with his deranged face expressions flying carelessly for all these things. Like, zip, zip, zip. That was a nice climax. I enjoyed that.
And of course, Sonic stretching his face like that's like, I've had enough.
I like the way he squashed his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then then there's the one with Tails doing his like like nee kind of pose. Even though he's mocking, it still looks too cute.
Yeah.
Adorable little Tails. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then of course Sonic shakes his ass in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was quite a few jokes I didn't use in the end because I either forgot or just felt like, nah, better not extend it any further. Because if I had the time, I would have just had like put some like appropriate music for Sonic shaking his booty. Shake
Yeah.
that booty.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I don't know, maybe in the future I
Yeah.
might just use it for something else, but
Yeah. Euan's YouTube poop extended edition. Yeah.
but well worth it in the end.
Some episodes are endlessly inspiring. Yes.
Yep. Oh. So,
Luke, I gotta say, I do love the comment you gave with Sonic in the painter's outfit. I hardly see artists looking like this these days. They usually depict themselves with a tablet or something. That is so true.
Oh yeah. This show is
So you
built
don't
for,
really
like,
see this stereotypical artist image anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. It's kind of sad, but
Yeah, it is kind of sad, with the beret and everything. Yeah, back in my day, we dressed in style with them berets and paint shirts. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and also not everyone has a fancy tablet. I mean, I still like to draw on like a pad or paper and pencil on that.
Yeah.
I don't have a tablet either. So when it comes to drawing, I like draw with a pencil, doodling. But when it comes to doing actual images, like the thumbnails and whatnot, I just do it all by mouse.
I have done a lot of painting,
Yeah.
so I have a giant canvas painted to my parents' home. But I don't do it many times anymore because it makes a lot of mess. It's a pain to clean up. I especially love oil painting. That looks the best, but it's such a pain to clean up. It's such a pain to clean up.
But yeah.
I'd like to see some of those.
All right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, is that terrifying, Euan?
Just that one gigantic painting you did.
With the
Like,
Beatles-ish
cause-
looks.
Well, because you had that not hanging up, but like leaning against the wall whilst I was trying to sleep, and yet I just keep on waking up and I just keep seeing that. I'm just like,
Oh, the scary haunted dimension drawing of my friend. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I do remember years ago when I was staying at Sylvan Rogers, and they put me in the spare room, and next to the bed I was sleeping, there's this painting with this guy in a very Tudor outfit. We're making a very strange facial expression.
I can make a quick photo of it, to show up. But, a friend of school made a stupid face, and I decided to turn it into like a haunted mansion painting or something.
It was very similar. It was very similar to Mr. Bean when he did that passport photo face.
oh yeah. So yeah, it's just I can understand why you had to paint it, but honestly, it's like you should have a way of making people.
Yeah, it was
feel
just so
comfortable
creepy, like
while
waking up
sleep.
and looking at that.
Yeah. I think that's what Rogers just keeps doing intentionally. Just leaves the painting up there just to try and intentionally freak everyone out that just wakes up by seeing that painting. It's just like, I think he's just probably waiting for that one day when someone's just gonna scream their head off, like, whoa, whoa!
Okay, now I'm really curious as to what this painting looks like.
Can you imagine hanging up in Hogwarts where he just goes,
Oh, wait,
But this
bugger
one
off,
actually talks. What is the password? Or you could just fuck off and stare at my face.
Yeah, I agree with Ali. We need to show off his painting either this stream or next.
Well, hey, that could be our Christmas event for next stream. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. What is our Christmas event? Painting?
Showing off the painting.
Yeah, showing off your painting. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Thank you,
coming
Sean.
soon. Sylvia made a picture of it just now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, there it is. That's the painting in question.
oh god, yeah, that.
What the hell? It looks like a French.
Yeah, it was so horrifying.
Oh well. Don't worry, chat. You'll see in a second, unless he's already popped it up.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, imagine waking up and seeing that.
Those fucking eyes. There's just.
Yeah,
It looks like a
beautiful pink.
Yeah, I think that's killed Elise. There you go.
It looks like
people.
it looks like a old school Jacksepticeye thumbnail.
But it looks more like the demented French cousin to Stuart Ashen's here.
I can see it's trying to be a parody of Sir Francis Drake.
Yeah, well, I might have to save that. I might have to save that picture and then just redo it. Redo the YGP to include that there.
Well, just put a little Christmas hat on him,
Yes, Ali is right. My new sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah. I like Godfroth with the nice mid sneeze picture.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Well,
That is absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
I,
Yeah, at least Roger is happy knowing like his painting has brought like great laughs this evening, especially for poor Elise, as well as Piper, that's his name, saying he can't breathe.
Well, you're not seeing it right now, but currently I am on the floor just trying to recover from laughing so hard.
okay, I'm gonna say this without any hint of irony. Roger, I think that is a fucking masterpiece.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And not just because it's hilarious. I do think you should be proud of this.
All right.
I mean, at least he put effort into it.
That is amazing.
But yeah, that happens when you give me a painting set.
I think we better get rid of the painting, otherwise
Yeah,
we won't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
This is totally Sketch Lampoon's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was fantastic.
Oh man, out of all the times I've lost it, this is definitely the first time where I'm just left on the floor laughing.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
So.
It was amazing that we were laughing at, but we're not showing it again.
Yeah.
At least it's got to recover.
Oh yeah, speaking of funnies, how about that sketch lampoon, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's certainly something. I think he's like supposed to be a giant canary.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
assumed it was the canary, but according to the wiki, it says he's a pelican.
A
pelican?
Oh,
I guess that makes
I think it's just because of the beak. That
Yeah, it's the beak.
Yeah, he does look like he has a pelican bill. I
But
don't know.
I kind of associate him more with being a canary, especially since he
Yeah.
just keeps on making us whistle noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, the oh my god, I can't whistle properly. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It like ends all of his sentences with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose that's also like a parrot stereotype, but like I don't know. He looks like a canary to me.
Yeah, he's just the he's just the demented uncle, the Tweety Bird.
He makes me think of the demented uncle of Big News at Morgan.
I was thinking Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Oh
We're all
yeah, he
thinking
does look
different.
like Big Bird.
I
Big
do-
boy.
He's
I
older.
do kind of like, yeah, but I do kind of like the fact they added that small detail where he's like not sitting on an actual chair, but like on a little pole thing that canaries normally sit on.
Oh,
Oh, I just
a
noticed
perch.
Perch.
Yeah,
Yeah, perch.
good catch, Euan.
I mean,
Yeah.
even on that one, it looks as though he's actually sitting down on it. But in like the later sort of like moments where Robotnik is explaining his life story to Sketch, he's actually sitting on it properly like he should do.
He's perched.
Yeah,
Yeah, perched.
yeah. Like now that looking at that far away shot with him sitting on the perch, I'm like, where are his legs? Because I don't see them.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Underneath the
Yeah.
table.
Underneath the table, yeah.
It must. I guess it just blends in with the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But I only noticed
Yeah.
it just because the amount of times I had to keep working on that YTP.
Yeah. So, couple of things I didn't know came from this episode were Robotnik's infamous "fuck,"
Yeah.
where he
Yeah.
slams his fist into the control panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they
I-
have him say words is a bit strange, because first you had him say snooping as usual, and now you got fuck get it.
Yeah.
Fuck, get it. He puts so much emphasis on the fuck,
Yeah.
and it's seriously just because when I first saw that in the YouTube poop, Robotnik is fucking pissed. I'm like, there's no way he actually said that on the show. And then I got to this episode, I'm like, oh my god, he's saying forget. He's putting so much emphasis on that fug.
Yeah.
I do wonder if he was aware, like, I want people to make silly videos about this character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he live to
But,
see YouTube poops?
Nah.
I don't think
well,
so.
No. Anyway,
passed away
yes,
in
but this is
mid-2000s.
also the episode with the frame of Robotnik in the pose that is associated with Pingus.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
Yeah, there's that, and yeah, that was like another meme that was it this video contains pingers and whatnot, and it's just like Robotnik singing one of the songs.
yeah. The original is this video contains Win, and it's just that image cropped out, and it's him singing Gourmet Race from Kirby.
Yeah, that's it.
Pingus.
Pingus. Yeah.
No.
Oh man, that was like from way back in like the olden days of the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
The days of old.
You're the man now, dog times. I guess.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Hold on, I recently watched it again just because of this episode. Uploaded by Ian Price in 2008.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. So
I'm
yeah.
that old.
So yeah, in 2008. So yeah, in 4 years it'll be 20 years old.
Yep.
Feel old yet?
Almost exactly, because it was uploaded in December.
Oh wow.
December 15th.
That's a
That'd be
coincidence.
close.
So the 16th anniversary is coming up this week. Or next Sunday. Next Sunday.
Ah.
Wow,
So
good
show
coincidence.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I did get that frame of Sonic and Tails where they just look incredibly chibi for some reason.
I always thought Tails
Like
looked a bit weird.
Yeah. Like, there's something off about both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, Tails' feet are tiny.
Mm.
Which is definitely part of what makes me think they're chibified, because, like, his proportions get smaller the lower on his body. I'm surprised his ears aren't taking up half the screen.
Yeah. His tails need to be more floofy.
Yeah. And Sonic just looks off as well.
For some reason, it kind of looks like a knockoff Mega Man pose in some ways.
Sure.
I don't know why. Maybe it's with the mouth being more centered, I guess. Yeah.
Sure, maybe. Yeah, what else? What have we done with all the crazy faces?
Let's see. Oh yeah, I just noticed. Yeah, this is another episode that has the blue arms error, and that's like after Sonic tricks Scratch and Grounder to like bash into a bunch of like stuff made out of sand. You're like, oh, that's not a cannon, that's sand. They plow through it, and then the bear, and then the sandcastle, which is just a big anchor covered in sand. And then you see Sonic doing the imitation, and it's like, yeah, his arms are blue for some reason, but hey, it has like Tails doing like one of the cutest laughs in the show. Yeah, it's too cute. So genuine and cute, yeah.
Yeah, I've certainly remembered, like, at the beginning of the episode when you see the green-faced children chasing the truck, they kind of resemble the Nerbs a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what the Nerbs are. I guess I have to look it up.
Oh, yeah, they're from Archie Sonic. Yeah, like, really obscure characters that only appeared in, like, two stories.
Well, that's obviously why no one knows about them.
Yeah.
Outside the odd few.
Yeah. Like I already did a whole video covering them, which was I'm surprised I was able to make it like at least longer than 5 minutes, because that's kind of my limit with doing videos. But yeah, there was yeah, they're just like these random Fraggle Rock rejects that live underground, and like, oh, they're nerds, so they're nerbs. So yeah, weird pun thing. Obviously, John Gray was the only one that cared about him, because apparently he kept pestering Ian Flynn to bring the bag, and that's how they suddenly established, like, okay, there's a bunch of nerbs that now suddenly work for the Dark Egg Legion for some reason, and they have like their own knockoff version of Robotnik called the Foreman. And then we later got the Sonic Comic Encyclopedia showing like, oh, there's actually Nerb freedom fighters, despite the fact that we never saw them in action.
Speaking of freedom fighters, I'm kind of surprised they bring that up in this show, because it never feels like just really like freedom fighting going on. But there's really a theme across all the free Dick Sonic cartoons, I guess.
Yeah, only in the American side of Sonic. At least in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised even in this show, the silly show, they talk about that sort of thing. Yeah. One of the main themes of the Sonic series at this point, yeah, the American version. All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, which is sadly no longer relevant, all because of those stubborn jackasses at Sega.
Nope. Yeah, kind of sad they never brought up the term freedom fighters during Sonic Forces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have their. Well, I guess the Resistance is like Sega doing their knockoff take on the Freedom Fighters, and they obviously did it poorly.
Indeed, they did. All right. Anything else for this episode? This legendary episode? Those legendary frames.
Yeah. Fun episode. I kind of like the opening bit where, like, oh, Scratch and Grounder are also getting in on the comic phrase. Like, oh, wow. And they're just, like, chortling at their own bosses, getting made fun at.
That was fun.
I kind of feel bad for Robotnik at the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
This feels like more pathetic than most of his losses, where he even recognizes the irony of like he's fallen and he can't get up, to the point that he can't even finish the sentence. He just starts crying. It feels pitiful. I do kind of almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Did anyone get the Clint Eastwood reference? There was a bit where Sonic and Tails are looking in on Robotnik, and I think he says something similar to like "make my day" or something. And he was saying it in Clint Eastwood's voice.
Oh yeah, that bit. It's like gonna ruin Robotnik's days, gonna make my day, or something like that.
Ah,
that's right. Yeah, I
wasn't fully aware of that.
Yeah, when they were spying on Eggman. Alrighty.
So first Sonic does a James Bond reference, and now a Clint Eastwood reference.
Yep, indeed they do. Edgy stuff.
Yeah, that's what the 90s was all about, having cartoon characters doing impressions of popular characters from the 90s and whatnot.
Indeed. Right, shall we move on to Sonic X? Or there's some more to discuss about. What is that, Euan?
Yeah, you just keep cutting out for us.
Oh, sorry. Shall we move on to the Sonic X comics, or are we not done yet?
I don't think anyone else has anything to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is whenever Robotnik says, oh, the hedgehog's right outside my window! And it just reminds me of a really old YouTube poop MV that someone did. Yeah, right outside my window! Right outside my window!
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one, the SSSSS squad. SSSSS!
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Oh, boy, I'm gonna make some hedgehog stew today!
Oh, that's back.
All right.
Great songs indeed.
Okay, now I'm done. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, for the 15th anniversary. So this comic was out when Sonic 06 was coming. Oh my.
Yeah, apparently.
Good times. All right, who's the victim doing the synopsis for this one?
Me, and I am prepared.
Good.
Alrighty.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I have a synopsis ready.
Okay.
I made sure of it. I was even still writing it as we started the call earlier. But anyway, after Shadow and Sonic saved the world from the space colony Ark, the barrier between worlds weakened once again, allowing even more beings and objects to appear at Station Square, including Cream's mom, TM, and our favorite forced promotional tie-ins, the Chaotix Detective Agency. After bringing them up to speed on the current goings-on, Tails decides for some reason that maybe these cartoonish detectives can solve interdimensional time travel. SBO cockblocks Vector, and then they head into their office seconds before it vanishes into thin air. Captain Westwood, trying to spin things in his favor once again, is threatening Topaz and then comes forward directly with his racism towards the Sonic's Worldians. Topaz goes to talk to Rouge but finds her missing. At the same time, Chris Thorndyke still exists. Anyway, Sonic and his friends are also missing. Turns out Sonic is in, pause for dramatic effect, Green Hill Zone, baby! Oh man, what a cool little callback to celebrate Sonic's 15th anniversary. Isn't that cool, everyone?
Oh yes.
What a rare event that will never happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime. Make the
Back
most
on-
of it.
Back on Chris's world, Eggman is hiding out in the South Pole, carrying Emerald's head just to taunt me.
Ooh, that's predictable!
Sorry, I had to.
Back on Chris's world, Eggman is hiding out on the South Pole, carrying Emerald's head just to taunt me, and confuse the absolute hell out of anyone who was just reading the comics and was excited to see what happens with this robot that the comic was putting so much of the spotlight on. Oh, and also Gerald took credit for not just Emerald's creation, but for naming him too? Okay, cool. As Eggman monologues exposition, we can see Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on Sega Genesis on his TV screen. Sonic thinks this mysterious place reminds him of the Green Hills of Home. He spots the shield power up on top of the shuttle loop, but Mario and Luigi are already jumping for it. Sonic jumps on top of the shuttle loop, wondering how to open this computer monitor he just found laying around, and immediately decided the only solution was to break it, which gave him a surprisingly solid shield. Sonic hamster balls forward, thinking he can somehow outrun it, not even noticing that he can still reach out through it and collect rings. At the end of the stage, Sonic naturally comes face to face with the Egg Wrecker, piloted by classic Eggman himself. The Checker Wrecker Ball slams into Sonic, who notices that the barrier took the hit for him as he didn't lose any rings. He jumps on Eggman once before getting hit by Eggman again, where he notices that the rings took the hit for him, even though that already happened with the Motobug, and he mentioned it when he lost the shield. Sonic beats the Egg Wrecker and then releases the trapped animals before immediately finding himself in Marble Zone. Sonic is worried about missing Chris's soccer game when he comes across Amy tied to a random pole in a pool of lava. Amy announces that she can't feel her hammer, but Sonic is not worried about that as they escape the Marble Zone. As they enter the boss arena to fight the Egg Scorcher, Amy notices that they can't go left anymore. Sonic tells Amy to grab some rings to protect her before explaining that he's pretty sure Classic Eggman isn't real, and Amy declares that that means she doesn't have to hold back and immediately obliterates the Egg Scorcher in one kick. But the bounce causes her to fall back into the lava. Thankfully, the rings protected her. We get a brief sodomy moment before they suddenly appear in Springyard Zone. Back in the real world, Chris Thorndyke still exists! Sonic and Amy lose their rings, and in their panic, they both spin dash ahead and accidentally run over Knuckles, and they fall into the abyss.
Yeah. And then they died. The end.
Done.
I love a happy ending. Also, classic Robotnik laughs a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't actually talk, he just laughs.
Yeah. Such a happy time. Yeah.
And of course, we're gonna
So,
learn
yeah.
it's not classic Robotnik, but someone else. No weird
Yeah.
twist.
Oh,
It's for the
well,
next.
there's a spoiler for
Yeah.
next issue, yeah.
Yeah, that's my turn. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, with this story, I was like looking through the artwork. It's like, oh, the characters are surprisingly like on model most of the time. And then I looked up the who did the artwork. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that explains it. It's Tracy Yardley. Yeah, one of the.
It's Tracy Yardley.
But even
One
the
of the
levels
main
are really on model. They really recreate the sprites and all that in the backgrounds. So it's really cool to see
Yeah.
those on different angles and all that. Impressive art.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, see,
Tracy
Penders, you don't
Yardley.
have. Yeah, see, Penders, you don't have to lazily just use Google Images. You can just recreate it like that. Get off your lazy ass and do something like this for once.
Yeah, I like how this is sort of like an adaptation of Sonic 1 and in a way satirizes the game itself.
But it's also interesting that it makes Sonic 1 not canon in the Sonic X universe. because this is a fake
Yes.
artificial world, so this never happened to the actual Sonic. So that means that the classic Sonic does not exist in the Sonic X universe. That is interesting. Because Sonic also doesn't recognize the Batniks.
You're speaking a little too soon on that, Roger.
Why, he says they're retro looking or something? Or?
No. You said classic Sonic doesn't exist in this world. You spoke a little too soon. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, much later. Yeah.
Oh, in a later issue of this series.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird because they are treating as if this is a whole new experience for Sonic and Friends. But okay,
Yes.
we'll see. Alrighty.
Mhm.
Of course,
I do have a bit of a morbid mental image, like the bit where Amy falls into the lava pit, and as Sonic is taking her out, I was expecting like, oh yeah, she's okay, but she's lost her legs.
Just skeletal legs sticking out, yeah.
Yeah. Now she's just like a torso. Yeah.
That would have been dark and funny. Poor Amy. Yeah, impressive art, kind of interesting concept. And man, the comics really love just representing Sonic gameplay through comic form. Like, kind of reminds me of all the other classic Sonic comics. Nothing getting bad memories of the classic Sonic comic being cancelled. Sonic Mega Drive.
Oh yeah, Mega Drive. Yeah, it was such a shame because like it's like classic Sonic, but it's brand new adventure, brand new deal kind of thing, and then it was never finished because it was abruptly canceled. As I weep for Part 3 being canceled.
Yeah, I keep being surprised how much the comic is dedicated and trying to fix plot holes of the Sonic X anime. Like, here they explain why the Chaotix never show up again after their one episode in Season 2. Because I remember when we were watching the anime, that bothered me that we never see the Chaotix return home. So I guess the writers of this comic were also bothered by it, so we get an alternative explanation here. This is really interesting. The comic actually works as filling in between the episodes. Yeah, Sala, go ahead.
No, not quite, because this is pretty early on in their appearance, and them disappearing is just kind of foreshadowing to everyone else disappearing.
Oh, they were also in the virtual world then. Or what?
No, they weren't in the virtual world.
Yeah, because this is the Chaotix returning to Sonic's world, right? Or not?
I mean, I took it to mean, like, because everyone else disappears, I figured that's just what happened to the Chaotix as well.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed more of that was just them explaining like where the Chaotix went after that one episode.
After that one episode.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then again, I
Yeah,
haven't
who knows?
finished the rest of the comic, so I guess maybe they show up later again.
Yeah, maybe later issues will better explain them. Like, oh, where have you guys been? It's like, oh, we just went to Greg's for nice yum-yums.
Cool.
But yeah, so you guys, we noticed that finally Vanilla is being named. Is she not Cream's mom anymore?
Yeah,
Yes.
not just Cream's mom anymore.
What was that, Luke? What do you want to say?
I was going to say, like, when you see the characters in their respective levels, you often get the level music playing on your head.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. They represent the gameplay very closely, yeah. But you guys said that Charmy B's name was spelled wrong? You mean just they added the? Or what?
They added the, yeah. He's the one character who does not have the in his name. He's just Charmy B.
Yeah.
Which
admittedly
was
is
always
kinda
weird, but yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird. I understand the mistake. I don't blame them for the mistake, but it is still a mistake.
Fair enough. And of course, you made the observation that Chuck was referring to SPO as like a enduring nickname or something, or
No, that's the
Yeah,
next
he
issue.
called-
oh, that's the next issue. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. I'm getting ahead of
But
myself.
yeah, speaking of that, it's kind of interesting seeing SBO being quite the gentleman with Vanilla.
Yeah, he's getting the Vector moment.
Yeah.
Poor Vector.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, I kind of I like Vanilla's facial expression as he kisses her hand. She's just rolling her eyes, but she's amused by it anyway.
yeah.
Oh,
I think it's cute.
it's polite.
Yeah. Well, it's Vanilla, Bun Mom deserves all the love.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta love the fact that Sonic and friends are in danger, but Chris's storyline is just, but what about me?
Yeah.
Chris. It makes it all about itself again.
I don't know about poor.
Yeah, neglecting poor Francis and Danny. Yeah.
Why didn't they say goodbye?
Also, I'm gonna be. Yeah, just him being like, I'm gonna be all alone again. It's like, what about your real world friends, you bloody black?
We are right here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chuck says it right in his face too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Chuck. He gets no respect.
Yeah. He just gravitates more to talking anthropomorphic animals. Yeah.
Can't entirely blame him on that, to be fair.
If only Chris was sucked into the game world and he just landed in the lava without wings.
Also,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't know Francis's name was spelled that way. With an E instead of an I. Oh my god, it's the worst thing imaginable. Multiple Frances.
Yeah, and despite the different names, Ryder just still can't remember her name.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love the commentary that Deco and Boko keep making on Robotnik and they keep making like all the words he keeps talking about.
Yeah, like the big words, and Boko is like, "That's it. I'm getting my own dictionary to understand what the hell you're going on about." Good old Deco and Boko.
Yeah, because when he said like, "Oh, do you sense imminent expository ruminations?" I thought he was trying to be like Sherlock Holmes, but no, that's like a cold outfit he was wearing because they're in the South Pole.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh.
Ah, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. But anyway,
Oh,
so
yes.
in the comic, they're finally going back more into the Robotnik as a human coming from Earth, because the anime also completely skipped it. It was always kind of annoying. So are we going more deeper into that here? Because they bring it up in this comic, but well, I guess we'll find out if they'll go deeper.
Yes.
Into that.
Time will tell once
Yeah,
we
maybe.
continue on with this comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comic is becoming more interesting than I thought. I thought it was just going to be like silly one-off and nonsense stories, but man, they're really trying to add a lot to the anime. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I definitely underestimated these comics, like especially with how they reference past events. Because yeah, despite like a lot of them being like one single story or two parts, like no, they actually do remember events that happened in like previous issues.
But yeah, like what
Yeah, I think
Sala said, it is confusing if you don't show the anime because it feels like they're skipping a lot of plot points because they happen in the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
Luke,
think what I liked.
Yeah,
I think what I liked about this comic, it feels more closer to the Japanese version without all the 4Kids meddling.
Yeah, I guess
Oh yeah,
so.
the Japanese dub. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the writer of this comic did only watch the dub version, the subbed version. Sorry.
Yeah, he did his real homework.
Let's see. It was Joe Etkin. I was almost expected to see Ian Flynn's name, but no, Joe. Good old
no,
Joe.
it's still. No, it's still gonna be a while until Ian Flynn joins in. So for the most part, it's always been Joe Edkin that's been writing the Sonic X comics.
So not only Ian Flynn does his homework, we can praise Joe Etkin as well. Good job, Joe.
Yeah, our underdog writer. Yeah, or unsung hero. Yeah.
Our unsung hero, indeed.
Yeah. Because clearly, when it comes to Sonic comics, people only know two people because they're too fucking lazy to do the research.
Indeed. Oh well, so here we are.
Yep.
Anything else, or shall we move on to the second half of this exciting story?
I mean, it's kind of cool how they try and give logic to the game mechanics of Sonic 1, where like Sonic is like collecting rings and just like hanging them on his arm. He doesn't know why he's collecting them, even though like he does take a hit from the first Motobug and loses the rings and they shatter to represent them despawning. And he like
oh, go ahead.
and he like gets the bubble shield and he immediately thinks it's some kind of trap because like he can't get out of it, but he can still reach out of it to grab more rings and he doesn't seem to find that weird.
Bit awkward, yeah.
I mean, judging from the icon, I think it's just supposed to be the regular shield and not the bubble shield.
Well, yes, I do mean that's I forgot about the water shield for a second. I was thinking purely in Sonic 1 terms.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
and then like when he completes the stage, he just automatically goes to Marble Zone.
yeah, like the scene just like transitions like pixel style. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'm kind of disappointed Sonic never got that 200 rings or something, so you see all his limbs filled with rings. So he can barely move
like-
because of all the weight.
He's covered
Yeah.
in rings. Well, hey, there's an idea for your parodies. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah, because he never has more than 4 rings or so. Would have been funny if he
Yeah.
had a lot more.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, outside of the power rings, yeah, this is another one of those rare instances where the rings are being used like narratively, because it's kind of well known nowadays that Sega is very much against rings being used in narrative ways because reasons. Yeah.
I like that. I don't like the fact that rings are canon essentially. Because they are just a gameplay mechanic. They don't serve a narrative function whatsoever. It's the same with like springs. I don't consider springs to be canon to Sonic. Because
Well, I mean,
like
oh, go ahead.
because like in any instance where like a spring is used in Sonic games, we know Sonic can just like make jumps like that. So I usually see springs in Sonic games as like a stand-in for Sonic doing whatever the spring is making him do.
Like a mental trigger point. It's like, oh yeah, I can
Well, I
jump,
mean,
I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even so, I still think there is a way to keep rings like in like a narrative sense, and that's obviously
Sure.
because we got Sonic Unleashed, the adventure games, and I'd even argue the very first Sonic game needed currency to access certain bits here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can be narrative, but I don't like them being used as like these
Hell.
items that are like, like, oh, Sonic has a ring, he's invincible. Sonic needs 50 rings to go super. He doesn't need rings to go super. That's just purely a gameplay mechanic, and it bothers me when people think that's canon.
Well, the Sonic fan base, they'll latch onto anything that's like, oh, it's canon despite all the contradiction and blah blah blah. Sonic Prime is proof of that.
I like that Sonic Frontiers even kind of disproves this when Sonic in the battle with Supreme the second time during the DLC, he loses his super form, takes damage, loses rings, and then transforms back into super.
Oh my goodness.
All in one cutscene.
Alright. And there you go. Still, I like the idea that rings is currency, and that Sonic still uses them as a shield occasionally to protect himself. Like he's constantly breaking out his wallet to protect himself. Like you shoot a gun at him, he just puts his wallet in front of the bullet to protect himself. Like, blink.
Take my wallet.
But that's my parody brain thinking.
I do like how the rings are used in the movies, like they use some sort of transport device.
Yeah.
They're definitely more based on in the classic games, the warp rings. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's still a
special stage
mystery
rings.
behind them because we still don't know how they were made and how they have that kind of magic.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
we'll ever go into it. Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I've seen warp rings get any kind of history was in, well, obviously Archie Sonic, being created by one of the greatest Archie Sonic villains, Dr. Finitivus. But yeah.
Well,
That's
he's
just-
the
that's-
creator of Nicole, wasn't he?
No, that's Dr. Edley from the new timeline.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah, Finitivus and
Wait.
Edley are completely different characters.
Wait, so who created Sally or Nicole in the old timeline?
It's a bit complicated. So basically,
Oh, okay.
basically a future version of Rotor or something created.
So anyway, how about that next
And-
issue?
Poor Melty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Shit on the Archie Sonic fan, why don't you?
Yeah. Maybe you can save it for an Archie character file in the future.
Maybe. But yeah, I would love to do Nicole one day because I actually already have the thumbnail planned out. But yeah, it's in some ways it's like I really want to do it, but at the same time that also means I have to bring up that pointless deal about connecting the old and new timelines. But that's a rant for another time.
And a lot of homework, yeah. All right, so let's move on to the final bit for today, the second issue for Sonic X. And
Mm-hmm.
who's the poor
It's not-
sucker who has to do the synopsis? Euan.
And I'll be doing
Oh
it.
no, wait. You.
No,
No.
I'm doing it.
It's him doing it.
Yeah, I called dibs on this because I said like this was the second issue of Sonic X that I was exposed to. Yeah.
Alrighty, then go ahead, sir.
Alright, so back to where we left off. Sonic, Amy, and Knuckles are falling to their doom in Spring Yard Zone, and they get all bounced around, and Knuckles is pretty pissed off because, like, oh, this is all Sonic's fault, you know? I mean, he's the one why we're stuck in this world, where he gives us a, not quite accurate flashback of who gets all the emeralds. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, they're complaining a bit. It's, you know, like, you know, one of these days, one of us isn't gonna survive. And Sonic's just like, oh, shut up, you know, we're a team now, we'll work together. And then they fight off the not Robotnik. And yeah, poor Knuckles gets knocked out, which, yeah, looks pretty painful, but fortunately he had rings, so he's not dead. So, right, so back in the real world, we find out that Chris and Chuck are still on Angel Island, where the Master Emerald is still gone, and somehow the island is floating without the Emerald's power. So, right, so they're still discussing, like, what's the deal with Sonic and his gangs? Did they leave without saying goodbye? Did something happen to them? And apparently Chuck doesn't know how to say Espio right. But anyway, he's getting readings on his PKE meter or whatever. And it's like, oh, I'm getting Master Emerald signals. It's still here. It's like, oh, that must mean they never left Earth, so they're just hidden away somewhere. So, yeah, so back to Sonic and the gang. They beat up the fake Robotnik, and they, like, try to chase after him, but Sonic's like, don't bother, he's too fast. And at the end of the stage, they free Rouge, who's trapped in this zone. And so yeah, then the ground crumbles, and then now the gang is suddenly in Labyrinth Zone, the most deadliest of all zone. So yeah, they're walking, Sonic's complaining like, oh, I hate water, and Amy's like, oh, Mr. Tanaka taught you swimming lessons, right? And Sonic's like, yeah, but I mean, that mission I did in the previous issue, I had diving gear, I don't. And Amy's just like, oh, shut your bitch ass mouth. So, right, so they're going underwater, then, oh, in comes Barrowbots, so they deal with a bunch of underwater hazards. They're slowly running out of air, and then Knuckles is like, oh, what does this button do? And then they get launched out. And yeah, and then there's the fake Robotnik. It's like, all right, let's chase after him. And then we also find out that not only has Amy's hammer also disappeared, but apparently Rouge can't fly as well. She can only just jump and whatnot. So yeah, they're trying to climb up. And then meanwhile, back at the Egg Carrier 2, we still have that, and apparently a bunch of penguins, along with that same penguin who's still wearing that bow tie, so I guess that's a reference to Pengu, another one of Sega's franchises. But yeah, anyway, so we see Robotnik's apparently he's controlling someone with that controller in the virtual world. So they're going on about it, and he's like, finally I will get rid of these cretins once and for all. So he gives us the basic rundown, where basically he traps Sonic and the gang into this virtual reality, and where they're at exactly is at pretty much his old base, which has now been constructed into a rocket. And the more progress that Sonic and the gang make through the game, the more energy that the rocket builds up. And once they've beaten the game, then the rocket will be fully charged and send them off to the moon. So yeah, going all Ralph Cramdom on them. Bang, zoom. So yeah, he's been distracted while Bokun's been chowing down on Robotnik's ice cream. But of course, Robotnik knows it. It's like, hey, get away from my nutball crunch. But yeah, think of that what you will. But anyway, so back to Sonic and the gang. They're now in they're now in the Starlight Zone, where they're getting attacked by bombs, and apparently they're trying to reach this high ledge, and they can't because Knuckles also can't climb, so everyone's just stuck to the bare basics. Unfortunately, there's a seesaw, so Sonic launches up and pushes down a block to launch everybody else up. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, yeah, they also find Tails trapped against a wall by a giant fan, and they manage to save him. It's like, all right, the gang's back together. So they then make it to the fake Robotnik and fight it off. Meanwhile, Chris and Chuck make it to Robotnik's old base. And then meanwhile, back to Robotnik, he's going on. It's like, oh, yes, their power meter is almost full. They'll be sent off to the moon soon. And, oh yeah, this is the surprising reveal that we find out that the fake Robotnik in this virtual reality is apparently modeled off of Gerald Robotnik, supposedly when he was younger. So it's not Robotnik himself, it's just a younger version of his grandfather, apparently. So, right, so back with Sonic and the gang, they have now reached the final world, Scrap Brain Zone, where they're fighting off ball hogs and doing all this sorts of stuff. But then they also find cream, vanilla, and cheese trapped in a capsule. And oh crap, there's a bunch of deadly barriers in the way. But fortunately, there just so happens to be a invincibility power-up. So Sonic grabs it and, frees the rabbits. Yay! And Sonic's trapped on there. It's like, oh crap, the invincibility wore off. But then she's like, oh, what does this button do? And then everyone suddenly gets teleported into the final arena, where we get the epic, the most surprising plot twist. This fake Robotnik has more dialogue. Dun, dun, dun. So they fight him off a bit, and Robotnik's like, yes, it's almost complete. The rocket will launch soon. And then, Chuck and Chris make it there. It's like, oh shit, it's a rocket, and we gotta save these guys. So everything quickly wraps up where they get Sonic out of there. He frees everyone. He grabs the Master Emerald. Everyone makes it out, and with the Master Emerald power source being yanked, the spaceship doesn't fly up, but instead blows up. So so now it's been destroyed once again. So and then Robotnik's like, curse you, Hedgehog! I'll get you yet. And while Boo-kun complains about that they've run out of ice cream, and that's it. The end.
Yeah, what a wacky episode. But yeah, here's where Chuck was left out. I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I have no friends. Nobody cares about me. Fuck off, Chuck. Yeah. You don't count. Poor Chuck gets no respect.
And here I am, just like, throw Chris off the island at this point.
Yeah, I'm still baffled with how the island is still floating. Like, was that something I missed, or is it just never explained?
I guess they forgot.
I mean, they did say that, like, they're picking up Master Emerald readings, so...
Maybe it was still
close
enough.
A wizard did it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the emerald is off the island, that automatically should the island just like fall into the ground and not floating.
I guess the writers did forget. Oh
well. There is a weird idea that classic Robotnik is based on Gerald Robotnik. It kind of makes you think of like how Cranky Kong is actually Donkey Kong from the original arcade version of Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hey, there's another surprise connection that Sonic and Mario have.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because like of how Sonic X introduces Gerald Robotnik. Some people, including my cousin, thought that meant that Robotnik was Eggman's grandfather and not just his real name. So this kind of interestingly kind of mirrors that.
Indeed, yeah. It's quite the ballsy change, but then again, Sonic X is not really canon to the game, so I guess they can do whatever they want.
Sonic X is kind of its own thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked how it just basically make classics of the Sonic 1 at least like a completely alternative thing that's not part of Sonic's timeline here.
Yeah, I mean, then again, like, them bringing back, like, the Genesis stuff, that was, like, a much more special event. Like, it'd been so long with Martin's, like, established style and whatnot, and they bring back the classic stuff, like, oh, wow, the old stuff is finally back, It's nothing like today, where Sega has to shove in Green Hills on it every fucking product. Yeah.
I know. It's still unique here.
Yeah. But, I mean, to be fair to this comic, they actually did feature, all the other zones from Sonic 1, which is pretty impressive. They were able to squeeze in all 6 of them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised to see Rouge stuck in that container because you rarely see her so helplessly. It's almost such an out of character moment. Like,
I do like the pose which breaks out.
That is cool. And she's a big fan of IMP because she's talking about Bustin. Yeah.
Yay. Poor Bustin.
Rouge is a fan.
I feel like the image of Rouge trapped inside the capsule is could be used for evil on the internet.
Yeah, probably. But then
Because
again,
of course it would.
what can't be used for evil on the internet?
True.
Yeah.
It's a rule for a reason, people.
Oh dear.
But let's not go into that.
Yeah, their own personal sex dungeon.
What part of we won't go into it? Don't you hear, Melty?
What part of we would not go into it? Did you not understand, Melty?
Hey, this is the 82 episode of this stream. Do you know who I am?
Also, Robotnik Eggman really has like some kind of fetish with the moon.
Indeed, he does bring it up all the time.
Yeah, I guess he's just really obsessed with trying to move on with his moon projects and not showing off his moons. Haha.
Melty. Yeah, I gotta love that Chris is only concerned about Sonic and friends being in danger is that they didn't say goodbye to him. Like, that's the only reason why he saved them by the end. Like, I still have to go say goodbye, only then you can die in a horrible accident. But first, say goodbye to me.
So rather than just unhooking them from the machine, he just slaps them awake. It's like, say goodbye to me first. Bye. Okay. And then they just blow up.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of weird before we get the reveal that the classic Eggman is supposed to be Gerald. Before that, Boko refers to the Egg-O-Matic or the Eggmobile as Eggman's grandfather's ship. So I don't know why he recognizes Gerald's Eggmobile. I guess.
I don't know. Maybe he caught a glimpse of Gerald's diary where he was like doodling plans for like his own hover ship. Maybe that's it.
It's weird.
Maybe we'll ever find out.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, like the Sonic X version of Robotnik has his own Eggmobile, which is very different from how we usually see.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's got like wings and a spike in the bottom.
Yeah.
And nerdy nitpick, usually when Sonic and friends get hurt when they have rings, they don't feel any pain, like with Amy in the lava. But
You cut out, Roger.
I cut out? Oh, sorry. Nerdy nitpick, usually when the Sonic and friends get hurt while they have rings, they don't feel anything, like when Amy falls in the lava. But poor Knuckles is in pain when he gets hit by Robotnik. So, there you go, nerdy nitpick.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
One detail I do like is that due to all the characters like not having their jumping abilities, I think that's a reference to the first game, like with how the jump mechanics worked in that game.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah. And speaking of nerdy nitpick, like, that whole flashback where they show off, like, the beginning of Sonic X and whatnot, and you have Sonic, it's like, I have all the Chaos Emeralds now, Eggman. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the other way around in the show. So, I mean, like, Robotnik was the one that had all the emeralds, and then, bumping the machine caused the whole chaos control thing to happen.
To be fair, this is Knuckles remembering, and he wasn't inside, so I guess he's just making it up what he thought had happened.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Knuckles was outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine like Eggman saying, "Wait, aren't I supposed to be saying that?"
It might be like a weird bubble error, because I've sometimes seen that happen in a few comics. Like, the wrong sentences are being done by the wrong characters.
Yeah, you have noticed that when Chuck was saying SB instead of SBO, thinking like, oh, it was maybe because like there's not enough room on the speech bubble. But if you see like the and, that and has got quite a lot of space, so I think you could have fit in an SBO in there.
Yeah, it's just a term of endearment. He's just big fans of SB. Oh, my good pal SB. Just like we call Melty Man Melty, and we call Elise Elsie. Oh, no, we don't. And we call Sala Sally. Oh, wait.
Yeah, Sally.
Sal.
Sala Acorn.
Yeah.
Sala Acorn.
Hey, Sal.
Now we just need fan art of Sala dressed up as Sally Acorn. Woohoo!
Oh, God.
Oh, no. And don't call me Roger either. Roger.
Yeah, let's call him Yogurt instead.
That's such a forced laugh.
Roger being reminded of the old diet he was on at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, but with Chuck with the names and whatnot, I think the other thing I could think of is like, oh, maybe he just couldn't be bothered to remember the other one. It's like, oh yes, there's Vector and Charmy and the purple one. Yeah.
To be fair, he only knows him for one day.
Yeah, he just met them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's bound to get it wrong.
Maybe when he introduced himself, he thought he was saying, "My name is Espy, yo.
There you go.
I'm the ninja of the chaotic, yo."
Yeah. Sure, let's go with that. Why not?
And I chuckle at seeing Sala just point and laugh at the sad Chris.
You suck.
Oh, you're going to be all alone again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, Chris Thorndike. Let's all point and laugh.
Accurate.
Yeah.
The bit where
Well, Chris being all mopey because he
Yeah.
doesn't have any friends. What do you expect? It's Chris.
Yeah.
What was that?
What the hell was that?
That was massive.
they left the beans there.
Maybe that's a sound effect whenever the fake Robotnik like blows up.
Okay.
We've been pranked by Elise.
Well done.
Well, there's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seriously thought Elise was just about to drop an F-bomb on us.
Yeah.
She gave us an entire bomb.
Yeah.
It's been a trouser trumpet.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
This is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Whee! Yeah.
Oh, that... Okay, so that's
I
that
got
one
you. You don't know how long I've been planning this.
My God. she's been
Waiting
planning
for the
this-
perfect moment.
We did not see that coming. No.
Sylvia, I hope you have that time stamped.
Well, I think, well, hopefully she's got most
Actually,
of the
I
time
gotta give a major shout out to Sylvia. She was in on it.
Oh.
She helped me.
Oh, wow.
Backstabbed by my own wife.
She's been planning this since the very first episode of Dissected Alive.
That's the only reason why Elise wanted to join in. Just
Yeah.
waiting for all these episodes for this moment.
Oh,
I was actually gonna do it when we talked about Green Hill Zone, but we didn't have the audio file up.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you know what? It would actually also make it better if it sounded like I was gonna drop a swear word. So,
Yeah.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, that-
Classic, yeah.
I did it!
Hooray.
I did it!
As soon as I heard you were holding on to that F, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, got baited.
Yeah. I honestly thought that was like either Sala or Euan because they're the ones that usually use the soundboard a lot.
Well, I was actually when I first said, I thought, wait, did Sala just play that? Because he usually has his own separate soundboard compared to our one.
Yeah.
I've got a lot. Here's one for you, Elise.
Oh no.
This is the comedy police. The joke's too funny.
Oh dear, poor Elise.
And then Elise
I'm
died.
sorry.
Oh well,
I
at
did it.
least she...
I finally did it.
We're all proud of you.
Thank you. And then I know you
Yeah,
guys
there
were
we go.
whining about Chris and then a lot so much, so I just thought, this is gonna be perfect. How can I get them to talk about Chris again? But you guys did it for me because you can't help
Yeah.
yourselves.
Well, I mean, Euan is very easily triggered about Chris, so you know.
Yeah. Especially when Sala's model is just pointing and laughing at us depressed Chris. It's like the perfect opportunity.
And I'm like, now's my chance to strike. I have to say though, you and your hatred for Chris actually was the key to getting me to this point.
Good to know. Yes. And there we go again, just for another good long look. Yeah, better.
It was me laughing at
Chris.
pointing and laughing at Chris again.
I thought it was meant to reference like Chris Thorne like exploding.
Exploded in a big fart.
No, in the final panel, like
Yeah.
you've done an explosion.
I'm just wondering what. Oh yeah, now I'm just wondering what Roger's up to.
Here's the thing, though. As much as Chris annoys me, I am not the type of person who would just laugh at their pain. So if anything, I would just be like, "Hey, it's gonna be all right," even if he's not listening to me, and even if on the inside I'm going, "Grow up, kid."
But we got to mock Chris.
Yeah.
Because if he's just going to say, like, I'm going to be all alone again and just ignore everyone else around him besides Sonic and his friends, then, yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow.
It's like, my parents are never here for me. They literally blew up Paris for you last week.
Yeah. The hell is wrong with you?
And like your mother is willing to like ditch a movie set just to come and make sure you're feeling okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the episode where Chris is a little bit sick and his parents drop everything to be there with him disproves anything that Chris defenders say about like, oh, his parents are never there for him. They are there when he needs them. When he and it's so funny.
They need it.
Yeah,
we need
like,
to have an image of Robotnik's head from one of Adventures on the Hedgehog episode, you know, where Robotnik was laughing at Sonic. That needs to be one laughing at Chris.
Well, yeah, with Chris's parents and the whole deal with his son, like, yeah, it's like then again, it seems like Sonic X is kind of full with a lot of contradicting details. Like, obviously, there's the whole deal about, you know, Robotnik just wants to scare people and not kill people, even though there's definitely a few times where he's fine, like attacking and killing people, and then other times he's suddenly against it. Yeah.
Oh well, difficult to keep.
I mean, if they set it up more where it's like maybe it's not so much Chris's family situation that was the issue, it's just more maybe Chris has a hard time making friends, and so that's why, you know, Sonic coming into his life was so important to him.
I guess so, but he does have Francis and Danny and
yeah, but let's okay. But in a hypothetical scenario, it's like maybe I have it like if I was writing the story and we had to have Chris, you know, have this issue, I would have it where he has difficulty making friends.
Sure, Chris could definitely work the elements of there. It's just that the execution as is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the intention in the original Japanese version, and just people knew about it. It's like, oh yeah, we can relate to that because we've seen it in other media. But yeah, something like that wasn't really translated well.
I could definitely like relate to Chris if his problem is like I have so few friends, I don't want to lose one, and not just like if I lose Sonic, I lose everything.
Yeah, where it's like, you know, he has so few friends that to him losing even just one friend would be the end of the world. Because
I don't want to lose my favorite sex toy. No.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Yeah. Forget Elise. Sala is not amused.
Elise is not. Elise is really not amused.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, I find Tom to be a better human surrogate character than Chris.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah. And
I'm not just saying that because he's Montanan.
And of course we can't forget about, you know, the best human character, Helen.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good old Helen.
One that
Still hasn't really
should
shown
have
up in the
focused
cartoon, in the comic. Only one cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, only in
I don't know.
the flashback, yeah.
But yeah, if I was to write Sonic X and like this had to be part of Chris's character, I'd have it where it starts at the beginning, like maybe he just either has Danny or Francis. He just has like one other friend because he has difficulty making friends. And it's so when Sonic comes into his life and just becomes his friend, you know, just like that, it's something that's very new to him because like, and it's his journey of learning how to be a friend.
That
Because
could be
in order
interesting.
to have friends, you yourself also have to be a friend.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And that is another problem
There,
with Chris. How many times does he do something for someone else, really? Other than Sonic.
He's constantly obsessing with Sonic, yeah. Although, at least in the comics, at least we've seen so far, he does show genuine care for, like, you know, Tails and Cream and the others, yeah.
That's true. The comic does a way better job of that. Or even him camping with Helen and Francis and Danny in this flashback
Yeah.
of his birthday. Like, the anime didn't really have those details.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the
Yeah.
comic does a little bit of a better job, yeah. Oh, well. It's not easy getting all these details wrong because we nerds are so obsessed about all the details.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
all.
oh, Classic Sonic is actually Gerald Robotnik? The fuck?
Classic Sonic is Gerald Robotnik? Oh my god.
That's even better.
I thought it said Classic Robotnik. I guess not.
Muscle memory brought out Classic Sonic.
I blame that stupid photo that that painting that Roger made. Yeah, it's right in my brain. That's the reason.
Classic Sonic is Gerald Robotnik. What a plot twist.
Oh god, it might
That's
remind me of that
plot twist.
weird AI fanfic called Sonic Destruction. It had a character called Gerald, but it keeps referring to him as either Robotnik's father or Gerald's father or something. It was very confusing.
Oh yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. So, yeah, oh yeah, then yeah, with the egg carrier still in the Arctic, and then there's just a bunch of random penguins there, and then there's one that just has a bow tie, and I look closely, it's like, okay, there's buttons on it, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's a Pengo reference, because apparently that's another Sega franchise, like from their old
Yeah, I've
arcade
not heard
games.
of that.
Yeah, I just posted yeah, one of the covers of it. But yeah, it's basically like a game where you play as this penguin and you push like ice blocks to like flatten these other enemies, you know. It's very arcadey.
I thought it was only a Game Gear game. Or was it also for the Genesis?
No, it's on other consoles.
Okay.
But yeah, I mostly just know it because in some versions they actually play the music Popcorn as one of the like its main level theme, you know, doom 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 that song.
Only know that song from the Muppets.
Oh yeah, when the Swedish Chef did his bit, yeah.
Alrighty.
The bit where we see Robotnik playing like torturing Sonic and his friends in a video game. It kind of reminds me of that one scene from one of the Friday the 13th movies where Freddy is controlling one of the characters in a video game.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm playing with power.
Oh my god. I was just thinking, like, whenever you called it Pengo, I was thinking of Tembo, the Badass Elephants, which is also a Sega game. And when looking it up, I found out that it was published by Sega, but it was developed by Game Freak?
Huh.
What, the
I
elephant
did not know
game?
that.
What, the elephant
Yeah,
game?
Tembo the Badass Elephant.
Yeah. That's a Pokemon Sonic team for Sega.
Yeah.
Collab.
Meanwhile-
that's
yeah.
big.
Meanwhile, for me, when Melty just kept saying Pengo, I was just constantly thinking of Pingu.
Yep, same here.
Yep.
Also, Pingu. I hear Pingu might be coming back.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I'm
That's
mildly concerned
awkward
about
because
what might happen.
that's unfortunate because his voice actor passed away recently.
Aw.
Yeah. So they're just going to recycle his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of
Considering the fact that
like
it's supposed to be-
yeah.
Yes, we brought back by Mattel and Aardman.
Aardman. Ooh.
Huh.
Okay, well at least we know who's animating it.
Indeed.
Speaking of, I want to make a minor correction to something I said in the last stream. The guy who sang Little 12 Toes passed away 6 years ago, not recently.
Ah.
Okay.
I don't even remember him talking, just making noises.
Yeah, I mean, someone had to make those noises.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was just mostly random gibberish in Pingu. No, Pingu.
Yeah.
Hey, but that means they can recycle the same voice lines. Since you never said
Yeah.
anything anyway. But, yeah, okay, cool. I guess we're finished for today.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
so, unless
so-
someone else has something to say.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is just, yeah, now we just gotta figure out what to do for next stream, since that'll most likely be our Christmas themed stream, I guess.
Good
Cool.
question. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, all I can think of was that when we marathon Fleetway Sonic for a while, I know there was like a few issues or a few stories we skipped, most because they were Christmas themed. So like, oh, maybe we can do that for next time.
Sure, that's a possibility. Anyone else has an idea? Elise, you have any great Christmas specials you think that would be worthy of talking about it?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know.
Well, with Melty mentioning Fleetway, I suppose you could do like the issue where Sonic ended up in London.
Well, I mean, with one thing I realised though is that we still got one Fleetway story, Christmas story that we purposely missed out so that we could do for this Christmas, even though it's a very short one. But hey, at least it's something than nothing, because it was more important for us to talk about that kid who dressed up as a not Spider-Man and jumped out of the window whilst his mother was about to thump him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or he just looks like he chucked him out the window. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Insect guy. Yeah, that was the guy.
Yes.
Classic. Or we could just review Luke's nativity scene.
Nativity scene. Yeah.
Nativity scene.
Nativity, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
or who knows,
Yeah.
maybe like if they're gonna do another Christmas stage this year, then that we could try
Sorry?
doing that. Unless they like do it after the stream and be dicks about it.
Christmas Sage.
But yeah. Yeah, last year we covered a few stuff when they did that whole Christmas stage event, yeah.
Oh man, I forgot. Oh yeah, we'll see.
I found
Yeah.
this picture of this is Luke's nativity, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was originally my parents, but they wanted to get rid of it, so I decided to take it along to my my flat and have it set up there.
It's extremely wholesome.
Yeah.
So I was like inspired by like that one scene in Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean, where he has like all these action figures and toys involved. I actually like that scene, so I decided to like have all these characters involved.
Yes, all these guys, including the tank on the roof about to shoot it. You know,
Yeah, ship pit, yeah. Yeah, and then there's a random Dalek there, yeah.
They're not
Oh,
gonna
those were
shoot-
requested by Roger because I originally had one without them, but Roger expressed disappointment and says, "Okay, I can put those in for you."
yeah, because the original Mr. Bean had a tank and a Dalek.
Yeah.
Classic. But yeah,
They've got-
they all
Yeah.
set aside their differences for one important
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah, and now all I'm thinking of is just that Dalek singing Away in a Major. Yeah, away in a manger. It's just, I need the right filter for that kind of like authentic Dalek voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do it in like Audacity, but that's only if I record a line and then put it through the filter.
Yeah, I think I might have Audacity or something like that. So I might have to fiddle around with it.
But yeah, we'll discuss what we're gonna do next time. I'm not sure yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
can
obviously
already
it
tell.
won't be us. We won't obviously be talking about the Sonic 3 movie. We'll save that for another
Yeah.
time. I mean, at
Yeah, well,
most, at most, what we'll just simply say is, like, you know, if we think it's worth you going to see it or not. That's probably
Yeah.
probably the most we'll probably say.
Yeah, we could like try and keep it short because by then they'll be released in America, and then like the stream after that, then we can get into spoiler-heavy territory.
Mm,
At least we can talk about the DLC for the Shadow game.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
So that's at least something.
Yes.
Not very Christmassy, but oh well.
But hey,
Yeah.
better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm already got some ideas of doing the thumbnail next time with it being Christmas themed.
That's
So
good.
give
Idea.
poor Euan a break. Yeah, give poor Euan a break. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it depends who wants to do the thumbnail, because I wasn't sure if Sala was mentioning about it or him just wanting to do the YTP intro for the next episode or something.
No, I think I'd be willing to do the thumbnail for next time.
Well, it depends who wants to fight over it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna suggest it's like, since I kind of called dibs on the YouTube poop intro from the episode, it's like, all right, I'll let Sala do it next time, because I might take a break from the intros for a bit, maybe. But who knows?
Or you two can collab with the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that could be an interesting idea.
Usually my thumbnails are a lot less composed than yours. They're just different PNGs put together. So
yeah, and despite my average artwork, I still put in some effort. Like, oh yeah, little like gags here and there. Yeah.
As for me,
I've yet to do a thumbnail.
Long overdue, I think. Elise.
Oh, you want to do it next time?
It depends on what we're going to talk about. But...
Well, with it being Christmas theme, I can already imagine she's gonna like draw herself holding like a Nutcracker themed silver. Because yeah, there actually is a Nutcracker suit for that character.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
you know, in the mobile games. Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No toys.
That's
sadly.
what Dash.
No, that's okay. I don't know.
It didn't sound okay.
You actually sounded disappointed. Like, it's like hearing there was a silver Nutcracker, and it's like, is there? Yeah, in the game. It's like, oh, okay.
No, guys, it's fine. I'm not fine.
She's holding back the tears. Yeah.
That did not come off at all how I wanted it to.
Anyways, Elise, I posted a picture of it in live chat for you.
I saw it. It's,
Yeah.
So it's too cute. So-
Yeah, just imagine that as an actual Nutcracker. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
You have a big
That's
mouth
just
at that
too
point.
cute. Oh no.
Like, ah.
But hey, at least it's like the ones that are designed for not actually.
I can imagine that Silver going, I finally found you, the Rat King trigger.
That didn't
Oh,
make
is
any
that
sense whatsoever.
Well, you know, the Rat King from the Nutcracker Ballet and all
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's just
It's just
Rat
the
King
delivery of
trigger.
it.
It's just
Because Silver has a rival with Iblis.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
Iblis
yeah.
versus the Rat King. Yeah.
Silver looks good in a cape. I'll say that.
yeah.
Very nice and festive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
What?
very festive in this destructive theme.
Well, now that I think about it, it could be another idea for next time. It's like, yeah, there have been a lot of Christmas-themed outfits for Sonic in the game, so we could probably talk about, you know, which is the best one, which are the cool ones, you know.
We're gonna have
Ooh,
a
there you
fashion
go.
competition episode.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done, like, something like that on the stream, just talking about, like, you know, character costumes and whatnot.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of want to
mean-
make me draw my characters from Legacy in Christmas gear.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although-
If I get time, though.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure you might have the time to do it.
I already know
Yeah,
which outfit
hopefully.
is gonna win. The Yakuza ones. Shadow and Kiryu's outfits. Oh man. I don't know.
I'd
why
probably just have, like, Sonic dressed up in a festive embryo costume.
Never know why Sega's against them wearing pants. They look good in it.
Oh yeah, that one.
Or the Sonic Jet Set Radio one is also pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Though I think that was more of a fan-made costume.
Yeah, they're all fan made. Fans are way cooler than Sonic Sega's official stuff.
Yeah, the fans are superior than whatever gunk Sega can.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, that shadow looks like wow.
Dashing.
Very 80s.
Not gonna lie, it looks pretty slick.
And for some reason, now I'm just thinking of that one gag from Sonic Movie Madness, where like, oh, they're about to fight off Chris and Voldemort. It's like, all right, it's time to battle, but first I'll change my clothes because they're ruined in the last scene.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Because he changes it to a Bond style
Yeah.
tuxedo.
Wow, yeah.
Right. Well, we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone say
We're
goodbye.
still streaming.
See you guys later.
What a way to end on. Jeez.
And off she goes. She, yeah, ass cracked me out of the fucking
That
dimension.
was not me this time. That was not me.
Oh well, perfect timing anyway.
Yeah.